Boy, who, Lord, people, that thing that exists. They're around, they're about, they are alive. Yes. Let's wait for some people to trickle in here. Yes, Queen, yes. Hello, Flitzpipe. Nice seeing you again. Yeah, I thought I'd open up a stream here because it's like 10:30 a.m. where I live. And I haven't really been doing much of anything ever since I woke up. I woke up at like 9. Um, so I've just been kind of like pacing around here trying to figure out what to do. I still have these books that I'm supposed to be reading on my desk. I just I haven't had the motivation to finish them because these aren't really the kind of books that I can like write notes in my notebook about. And the way that I read, because I have so much trouble focusing on one thing, I need the extra stimulation of writing the stuff down as I read it. And because these books are largely fictional, I found very little stuff to write note-wise in them because I'm just watching the plot progress, you know? And so it's been taking me longer to read them. Um, and it's really made me miss like stimulants like Adderall and stuff because when I had Adderall, I used to read books so much quicker. Because with it being as difficult as it is for me to consistently focus, I have to find little ways around the problem, you know, like writing the notes, reading at a certain pace, going back over all the sentences again to make sure I didn't miss anything. Um, I have to try really hard to be able to get in the information, which is fine. But with a fictional book, it's more difficult to do that. And so I kind of I miss when I was prescribed stims because then I could just blow through the book in an afternoon, you know, because I would just be hyper focused on it. Um, um, I have to go now. Any tips for fitting in time for vlogs? I'm thinking of vlogging while I'm on morning walks. Well, the best way to do it is just to do it. It's to sit down and go, okay, which topic do I want to do, and then think about the topic a bit before having done it. Go out and then record the video. It may not end up the way that you've envisioned it in your head, but ultimately getting it done is what matters the most because like you go back through my channel, there's tons and tons of videos that I just recorded that weren't very good, but as I continue doing them, it gets easier. So, um, as you're walking, I would recommend, again, just being calm, collected, have an idea in mind. Um, and know what you're going to say about that idea before going into it. Um, what else was I gonna say? Uh, there was a point about books I wanted to make, and I don't remember what it was. But anyway, um, but yeah, I woke up today, and I've just been kind of, oh yeah, the rants. By the way, for those of you who are patrons of me, the rants come out on February 20th. So if you're a patron and you want me to rant about something, go to the Patreon and put your thing in before February 20th. That's the deadline for this month. My dog is eating his breakfast. He's I think he's emptied out the plastic bowl completely. You see here. It looks like he has. He's just biting it now. I have to go put it in the trash because I actually have my own bowl on the floor as well. I cleaned up in here yesterday, vacuuming and this kind of stuff. My dog wants to get out. It's a bit of a mess out there though. I don't want him to step on something. Something broke, and then my dad had to go off to work. But what was I gonna say? Yeah, how is everyone doing today on this American morning? I know Flitzpipe is in Germany. I don't know what time it is over there, but it is morning time over here, and I'm still waking up. What's going on outside? It's 17:37, so that means it's 5:37. Yeah. It's nice and bright out. Where do I? Okay, now you can see me. I really need to shave. I really, really need to shave. Like, show you here. Yeah, I don't like any of this I have going on. It's not good. I need to shave. Haven't I haven't shaved in a while and I need to. I don't like having facial hair. My backyard is so pretty, especially like when it's raining. It's not raining right now, but it had rained I think last night it was raining. I wasn't paying attention though because I was asleep. But my yard is always really, really pretty when it's raining, and I like it a lot. It relaxes me to be able to watch the rain go. If I could live somewhere, my dream is to live somewhere where it rains all the time. But, generally being cold is important to me, but I that's why I like Maine so much, is because in Maine it just rained constantly, and it was nice to be able to write because the rain sort of calms me down and gives me inspiration, and it made it easier to write when I lived there. Where like when I lived in Maine, I wrote more than I had ever written in my entire life, more consistent, and I still haven't written that much, as I was writing back there. And what was it? What was I gonna say? Um, and like some of the best posts that I've ever written too were about the time that I was living there. So it wasn't just that I was writing all the time while I was there, I was also writing about the experiences, after much, much long after I had not lived there anymore. And so I want to go back because there's a sort of inspiration that the place has. Stephen King wrote a lot of his best books living there. It's where he grew up. And I actually went to Stephen King's hometown when I had lived there. So it was a very, very special place to me. And I wanna go back. I don't know how any other way to put it, but I just don't have the means to right now. One thing I've considered doing is just literally becoming homeless there. Is that like after I turn 18, to basically just dip and leave and become homeless there. That's one idea I have. I could get a job. I could do it. Um, and but that's one idea I have brewing around in my head, is just go from like local homeless shelters in Maine until eventually I have a job and I can, get things going on my own. Because like their minimum wage is $11. I think it's 11.50. Um, and I could be able to sustain myself on that money. And then eventually I would be able to save up enough money to be able to, leave the country or do whatever. And if I can leave the country, I can start making, the travel videos that I've talked about wanting to do. And I think I could attract a larger audience of people through doing that, especially because so many of the places that I want to go to are very obscure. Like, who the hell is making, high quality any videos about like Tajikistan? No one even knows what that country is. I want to go there. I want to go there and film it, you know? So I've had ideas for, cheap things you can buy in X country and how to get around these specific monuments, going to obscure villages that no one's covered in this place. Similar to a lot of the stuff Bald and Bankrupt does, but with more like self-help around the country type of videos in mind as well. And I think those could do pretty well because there's a market for it. If no one's filling a niche, then there's always a niche to be filled. Like no one's making videos talking about the stands. No one's doing it. And so if I did it, it would fill a big hole on YouTube, and I would be able to attach people to my personality and my sort of like, you know, going insane sort of neat character, being the neat who's bizarre and has a quirky personality and likes to write stuff. Um, but that's the idea. Hopefully, I can save up enough money to be able to do that. I'm too lazy to shave. Probably gonna grow a beard in the future. Yeah, I mean, uh, I like Slavic people look pretty cool with beards. Russians look cool with beards. I I don't want to generalize too much, but I think you could probably pull it off. I don't know what you look like though. Your backyard looks really, really European. I guess it does. I don't know. I've never been to Europe before. I want to go to Europe. Star 2021 goes to Germany. That's the day. It's coming. It's coming one day. 10 out of 10. Or was it 2022? Whenever Flitzpipe lives on his own, I'm gonna go do an adventure there. Pick Ophor Avia. I don't. Is that some sort of pagan thing? You're up. I am up. Um, I woke up at like 9 a.m. today, and I I've just been really confused and bored ever since I woke up. I suppose I woke up better than I did yesterday because yesterday I went to sleep at like 2 a.m. and I ended up waking up at 9 anyway, but I've been waking up at 8 most days. Um, and it's weird because I've had surprisingly consistent sleep. Like the main way that I get consistent sleep is just through drinking. It's through like drinking alcohol or smoking weed. It makes it much, much easier to sleep. But it's weird because both of those things, scientifically, like they say that they disturb your sleep cycle. They say that it makes it difficult for you to sleep, right? But I think because my sleep cycle is already inherently fucked, and I've never been able to keep exercise is the best thing for sleep. That's never done anything for me. But because I've never been able to keep a consistent sleep schedule, um, and I have so much trouble getting to sleep, I think maybe it works in an inverse way for me that because my sleep schedule is already so fucked up, the fact that that it disturbs it, might make it inversely better or something. I don't know. That's the theory I have going, because it's worked really fucking well so far, and I have no other explanation other than that. Um, on nights where I don't do that, it goes back to the same way it's always been. But I fucking hate these gym bros who are like, oh, exercise, dude. You just gotta exercise. It's all you have to do for sleep. Look at this graph, dude. Look at this graph. It's all you need for sleep. It, like, I've spent so much time exercising. I've looked at all of these fucking guides that these gym bro tards send to me. I've tried absolutely everything I can, even to the point of exhaustion consistently, and it's never done shit for me in terms of getting to sleep. Maybe it works for normies. I'm not denying the science behind that, but I get so annoyed because people will constantly tell me that when when I talk about having trouble getting to bed. Um, and I've been told that for like years on YouTube now because I've always talked about sleep, and I always hear the exact same things, and they continue not to work. And so I feel like some people's minds are just different. Let's see, what is there? It fixed my sleeping pattern. Yeah, no, I'm not denying that it doesn't work for. I'm not saying that it doesn't work for most people. I'm just saying it didn't work for me. And I wasn't even like calling you out specifically. I'm just calling out the fact that I've heard it so often. It gets annoying over time. There's a funny freeware thread on T. Some pretty good stuff there. Let's see. T is that's technology. Yeah. Let's see. T and F are fun boards. I don't actually remember which one F is. Um, I tend to visit a lot of the same boards. I don't oh, Torrent. Yeah, wait, no, technology is TG. What am I talking about? Um, or is that traditional games? Oh, F is Flash. Yeah, like I said, I don't go to any of these weird boards. Um, yeah, TG is traditional games. Yeah, okay. They're talking about 4chan. Um, but like, I tend to go to like VR whenever I go on 4chan now. I don't really go on any other board besides VR. Sometimes I go to VG, sometimes I go to V. I don't really venture out anywhere. A has been terrible for so long, and obviously R9K is a shit show. But I go on there sometimes because I like. Sometimes there is a funny post, but most of the time there's not. And I like to find images on R9K. Like I find fun, depressing pictures there sometimes, but most of the time it's just bad. Um, 8kun is dead. 8kun is pretty dead. I went there the other day, and there's like barely any posts. 8kun is complete dog shit compared to 8chan. Yeah, I agree. I really really miss 8chan, man. Like 8chan was so good. I loved using that website, and it's turned to utter shit ever since 8kun became a thing. Um, I don't understand enough Japanese to know 2chan yet. Yeah, me neither. Um, 4chan needs user desks. Interesting. Yeah, but it has a good archive of stuff. Does it? Hmm. I guess it sort of does. I wish there was more. But yeah, I still like going on the video games board on 8kun, even though it is slow. It's pretty much the most active board. I mean, it was the first one that started gaining a whole lot of traction, and I think I think the video games board is good. But B got nuked. R.I.P. I miss Hiki. I miss Hiki too. It's Tatsuhiro Sato, Hiki Fag. He lives in like a frat house now or something. I didn't get the whole story on Discord, but like he's definitely not a Hikikomori anymore. He's trying to get a job and stuff. At least that's what he says. But he lies a lot. Like he lied about trying to get married to this girl and stuff. So I don't know. He's on his own level. But I doubt he's gonna make a new Hiki board. Like he ran the Hiki board for a long time. I was there, around the beginning. And I don't think he wants to do it anymore. Um, Never fear, no thank you is here. Hello, hello, no thank you. Um, but yeah, it's I missed the Hiki board. It was nice. R9K is a shit show. I don't know why I keep going there. Why do you keep going there? I only show up every now and again to try and find weird images. Um, And every now and again there's a funny post, but like by and large it's terrible. That's why I almost never go there anymore. Um, but I miss when image boards were fun. Like, I enjoy going to Lane Chan, and I sometimes go on 420 Chan, but it's not very active. I go to Obaway Chan, but it's not very active. Um, image boards. It feels like image boards are almost dead, and it's sad to say that. Like, some of my best, absolute best memories on the internet are going on image boards, but it feels like they're dying. You know? I don't know why anyone would use mainstream image boards in 2020 besides a misguided attempt to rekindle some nostalgia for an era that never really existed. Um, hmm. I mean, I like VR. VR is genuinely good on 4chan, and V can be good sometimes too. I was on Hiki-chan for like 2 months before it closed. R.I.P. Learn Russian and go to 2chan. Learning Russian would be cool. I feel you. I miss old Newgrounds forums. I was never on there. I like WizChan. It's pretty active, especially Wiz. That is true. Yeah, WizChan actually is really good. I take back what I said. That is like the one image board that I do still consistently go to. Um, and I'm surprised how active the posts are, especially because they have constant like walls of text that are being posts on WizChan. There's a lot of effort posters there, and it's very fun to read. People get really, philosophical. They get into a lot of debates and stuff. And there's also a lot of great images that are posted there. And yeah, WizChan's a fun time. I love WizChan. Do you guys think I'm on my way to becoming a wizard? Anyway, instead of shitposting on WizChan, you should all go and read Blame instead. Blame costs too much money. Manga costs too much money. What do you think I am? I tried reading manga digitally on my phone, and I still don't. It's on archive.org for free, and I still don't like it. The only way I can read manga is physically. That's the only way. I refuse to read manga any other way. It's just wrong. It's just wrong to not read it physically. Like, there's something about it, it just feels gross to me. Not because of like, ooh, my piracy's a bad thing. No, that's bullshit. It just like there's a certain disconnect I have from it that makes it to where I just can't enjoy the thing that I'm reading. Where like I've tried to read stuff digitally on my phone or on the computer and then or on the tablet, and then I bought the physical volume of the thing, and reading the physical volume was infinitely more fun for me, and I had way more motivation to finish it. um I can't read. Reading is hard for me a lot of the time, because I have trouble focusing. Where what I have to do is I have to write notes as I read. That's how I stay focused. But that really only works for like nonfiction stuff. Um, I when it comes to fiction, I have less notes that I can write, and so it becomes harder for me to consistently focus on fiction unless it's something that I'm just absolutely enthralled in. I tend to need like stimulants like Adderall or Ritalin to be able to read like a fictional book. I'm much, much better with nonfiction because I can just write all my notes, and if I'm writing my notes, I stay engaged. With manga's really, really easy for me to read because there's pictures in the books, and so there's always something to keep you engaged with manga, you know? Um, let's see here. Reading that new Death Note one shot right now. Nice. At no thank you, how is it possible that your music isn't popular by now? I mean, for example, To the Fairest should be at least 10K views. It's still somewhat accessible. That's what I want to know as well. Look at Star's channel banner. I used to be only able to read physical books, but after so long of being a desperate poor fag, I just got used to digital reading. I don't think I can get used to it. I've been a poor fag for a very long time, and I still wasn't able to get over that barrier. I just found cheaper ways to get physical books by going to thrift stores and stuff. I would rather find a more creative way to get books than read them digitally. I tried reading physical volumes, can't get into it. Interesting. I have a very specific voice I use in my head as the narrator when I read. I tend to change the voice depending. I read so much manga and books as a teen, I burned myself out. I also lost my Vyvanse, basically Adderall, a few years ago. R.I.P., man. R.I.P. Um, I mean, you could probably get like 2 FMA or 4 FA, and it might help out. I've never used those substances, but they might help. They might help with focusing on books. 2 FMA specifically, I've heard is very very good as like a study aid. I've heard some people say it's the best studying aid, so maybe give that a shot. Um, Physical is the best, but you gotta go digital when it's more obscure or untranslated stuff. That is true. Star, I listen to your videos when I play games. Just wanted to say hi. Yeah, thanks, man. I appreciate it. Buy manga off eBay. That's where I've gotten most of my manga. Like, basically, this stuff is all the manga that I own, more or less. So I don't own very much. This was gifted to me. These 4 volumes, this was gifted to me by JNS. But this other stuff I bought, like this stuff, I bought this stuff when I was like 10 years old. This is very old that I have here. But yeah, all of these, this is all stuff that I bought on my own, at various points in my life. I haven't really bought any other books of manga since then. I mean I've got other books back here that are just like normal books. But that's basically all the manga I have. Um, you happen to like Kurt Van Gogh. Name sounds familiar. I don't know who that is. Let's see here. What's going on with you? Hello, dog. My dog got really high yesterday because he was having a seizure. My dog is an epileptic. My dog has epilepsy, so he'll sometimes get these really bad seizures. And so what I did was I put him in a box and I taped the box closed, but there were little holes on the side of the box that you can open and close. So I just took the pot that I had and I started blowing the pot into the box so that my dog could like take in all of the smoke and he would get like like an accidental high from breathing in the smoke that I was putting into the box. And then after I did that, his seizure was gone. And so getting my dog acted really weird afterwards. Like he was just so calm and he was just like looking around the room. He was acting completely different. Um but yeah, so I basically hotboxed my dog and his seizure was gone afterwards. Like my mom has used, like weed products and stuff like that for her epilepsy. And it works for her. And apparently, given the little experiment I did, it worked for my dog as well. The Slaughterhouse 5 author. I've wanted to read Slaughterhouse 5 for a long ass time. It looks like a book I would like a lot. Um, when I was in sixth grade, my father bought me all 25 volumes of Soul Eater for to 70 euros off of eBay would have been like 150 euros. eBay just rules. Yeah, no, eBay's great for finding a lot of stuff, especially if you're like bidding on things and there's no other bidder. I've gotten some amazing deals off of eBay. I mean, even Amazon can be really good for buying books if you know where to look. Like those NHK volumes of the NHK manga that I have on my shelf. Well, it's not a shelf. That I have on my drawer. Those volumes, like, I got those for like steals off of Amazon just because the sellers didn't know what they had. Um, Slaughterhouse 5 is meh. The writing is strange. I love strange writing. If like the weirder the writing is, the more I'm going to like it. Unless it's just like really pretentious and dumb. Um, let's see. Uh, Reading books off the phone or an LCD monitor hurts to the point where I can't get past 5 to 6 pages without taking a break. E-ink displays without having a backlight are fine because they behave kind of like real paper. I have an e-reader. Someone donated to me money specifically to get an e-reader like during the summer of 2019, and I after I got the e-reader, I barely ever used it because like it I felt bad too because he gave me this money for the sole purpose of doing that, and I it didn't work for me. I just didn't like it. I needed the real pages in my hands. Um, but yeah, no, it hurts my eyes to read off the computer or tablet as well. Um, I wish more publishers would do what they did with Death Note and publish the whole manga cheaply in one book. I agree. Diets can help with epilepsy a lot. That is true. The writing is too strange. If you think Slaughterhouse 5 is strangely written, then I have some bad news for you. You may be a brainlet. I've never read it. Um, let's see. Cute ass dog. He's a good dog. He's very cute. But yeah, no, I don't think like if you're into like reading Game of Thrones and stuff, I can understand seeing House 5 or any other book that's, a little bit more postmodern, a little bit more strange as being too much. I don't think it's something people should be ashamed of. I think there's just a certain style of book that people tend to prefer. Um, let's see, what was I gonna say? My father is literally addicted to eBay. Sometimes he bids expensive or vintage racing bikes and then resells them for more money. The DDR has left some masks on him. Yeah, like it's weird. My dad was addicted to eBay for a little while as well. Is that what he used to do was that he would buy broken Xboxes. He would buy broken Xbox 360s back when the Xbox 360 was still a thing, and he would buy those parts off of eBay and then build them into functional consoles. He would just fix the broken ones and then resell them. And he resold a lot of Xboxes doing that. He just do it all the time. Um, and it was pretty successful. It worked pretty well. So I mean, there is a there are ways that you can make a lot of money being an eBay seller. It's one of the ideas that I've had in the past because I know how to fix electronics as well. And mainly because he taught me how to do it. And so I could theoretically make at least a little bit of money doing that. It's one of those little plans that I've come up with. Did your 3 Mio PCP come in? It hasn't come in the mail yet, no. I ordered it on the 3rd of February, and then the Dutch people, the Dutch people who I had ordered it from, they said they would ship it in 2 to 3 days. So at the latest, they shipped it on February the 6th. And because it's coming from the Netherlands, it's gonna take like 7 to 15 days. And so, uh, it's gonna take a little bit of time. But I hope it comes in today. It would be really really good if it came in today because I have a little bit of weed that I've been saving specifically for when it comes in, and that's gonna be fun. Um, learn how to flash core boot, Libre boot onto old ThinkPads. People pay absurd prices for them on eBay. Really? Oh, okay. I could learn how to do that. Um, NL orders tend to take 10 days. Oh, okay, cool. So I mean, it might be here by like Friday then. Are you hyped for Radcon 4? Not really here. Can you see me? Okay, there we go. Um, let's see, Radcon 4. Yeah, no, I don't tend to watch the group content that the Procrastinators podcast does together. Um, because I just don't like the Procrastinators podcast very much anymore. It's not very good. Um, I watch Digibro sometimes. I don't really watch any of the other guys. Um, would you do a live chat when you get the 3Mio PCP, a live stream? I don't know if that would be interesting to watch, because I would probably just be pretty incoherent. Like like the only dissociative that I really have experience with is DXM, and I know DXM is pretty different, but based on that, little bit of dissociative experience, I'm not particularly interesting when I'm on them. I just have trouble talking, uh, so I don't know if that would be an interesting viewing experience to have. And plus, I kind of want to have the first time that I do 3Mio PCP for myself. I want it to be something that, I just do while I'm, just in my room vibing. Then that's the plan at least. I don't know, maybe I'll do a stream, I don't know. What the fuck are you talking about? Well, we talked about a lot of different things. Which one? Which one are you referring to, mate? Um, I only watched the Procrastinators podcast when Mumkey was on. Yeah, I liked it was weird because I generally like Mumkey. I think he's funny. I think he's gotten significantly less funny over time, but sometimes he can still be funny. Um, uh, but the episodes where he was on were very, very hit or miss. It seemed a lot of the time like he just didn't want to be there and he was just kind of there to make money. Lol, fair enough, man. I would want to do the same thing. Yeah. I wanna try out 4 Mio PCP if this goes well. If I enjoy this, I want to try out 4 Mio PCP. But I have no idea where the hell I could get that, because the vendor that I go through, the one that is very exclusive, hashtag Secret Club, um, uh, they don't carry it. They carry 2 Mio PCP, which seems pretty new and a little bit weird. But they don't have 4 Mio PCP. I don't like Mumkey anymore. Um, yeah, I don't like Mumkey anymore very much either. I liked when he was making those videos about the pedophile girl that he had dated. Those like really long, like 40-minute, 1 hour videos of him just telling the entire story. They felt very raw, they were very genuine vlogs. I liked those videos a lot. But ever since then, he hasn't really made a good video since those videos. And before that point, he hadn't really made any good videos either. So I want him to just fuck his life up again, so I can so I can get interesting videos of him going insane. I know that's a terrible thing to say, but I don't really care. I like watching people descend into madness. Um, uh, Mummery on suicide watch. I don't think he's going to commit suicide. That was a meme for a while, but it seems like his meds are working and stuff. Last time I checked, I don't really pay attention though. Um, I've done 3 Mio or 4 Mio, whichever one is supposed to be more sedating. I actually don't know. I know 3 Mio is it's very stimulating, because like even though it's supposed to be, you know, very similar to ketamine, which is sedating, because of the phencyclidine component, the components that are similar to PCP, which is stimulating, it ends up supposedly at least feeling like K, but more similar structurally to phencyclidine. So. Um, 3-MeO is supposed to be very stimulating in that sense. I don't know enough about 4-MeO to know if it is less stimulating. I would assume, given how stimulating 3-MeO is supposed to be, that 4-MeO would be more sedating like ketamine. I don't know. Um, I'll have to report this information as it comes in. You know what I mean? Um, but yeah, my dog, he's just here vibing. He's a good boy. Good dog. My dog constantly does this with his teeth, where he'll just show his teeth to people, and typically that's a response that dogs have when they're, you know, they're showing that they're about to bite you, right? You know, when they're angry, they show you their teeth, and that's something they do in nature, you know. Um, but But with my dog, he just smiles, you know? He doesn't show his teeth at people because he's mad at them or he's trying to fend them off. He just shows his teeth because it's a smile that he has. He copied it. He copied it from normal people, you know, the people who are raising him. And so, when he's happy, he just sticks his teeth out like that. It's nice. After MLP ending, I'm wondering why the fuck everything I love is falling apart specifically all the time. How is this my life? Um, why do you still care about MLP? It has not been a good show for a very long time, mate. Um, is this what it's like to get old? Yes. Now, you're only 21, you're not that old. Um, but what was I gonna say? But yeah, MLP has been a bad show for quite some time. I don't know how you got past season 5, man. Do you have Fent testing strips? I haven't had a need to have Fent testing strips yet. Like there's nothing that I've gotten that would theoretically have fentanyl in it. Like if I was you know, if I was doing like heroin or something, I would probably have to have those, but I don't do that, and I don't really plan on doing that. So I don't. There's no need. There's not really a need for me having those. I've heard of RCs having Fent. Um, I mean, I suppose it would depend on where you're getting them from. But I haven't heard any of those reports before, so that's new information to me. I might have to look into it then. But yeah, MLP MLP. I don't know how people can consistently watch MLP. Like, it was a good show for like 4 seasons, and it had a lot of bad episodes. But why did people continue watching it? Was it just because of nostalgia for the community? Was it like this weird comfort thing that people wanted to? I don't know. I don't know why people kept watching it, you know? Um, it's really cute whenever my cat yawns. You can see that she only has like 8 teeth left. Oh, that's cute. A need to belong. Yeah. Yeah, I don't understand the whole brony thing. I think it's a little weird. I mean, obviously like what you like. Like one of my best friends is a brony, and it's totally fine, but I think it's a little weird. I think it's a little weird. Then again, I also like magical girl anime, so there's not really, you know, I'm not really the one to judge. Oh boy. Ow. Ah, there's like this, oh Christ, there's like this huge pain in my gut. Ow. I need to drink some water. I've been getting these random aches and pains lately, and I have no idea why. Magical Girl anime, do you like Madoka Star? No, I think Madoka's trash. I watched the entire series because people told me to finish it, and I ended up finishing it, and I really did not like it. I was not a fan of Madoka. I gave it like a 2 out of 10. Um, the entire show I didn't like. Hey Star, Digifag here. Bronies are just autism level 4 to 6. Damn. Um, but yeah, even though I do like magical girls, Madoka was not my thing at all, and I finished the whole show. So you can't sit here and say, "Oh, you just didn't watch it until it got good, bro." No. Um what are your favorite Maho shoujos then? I liked what was that show called? Armajo Doremi. I don't know how to say it correctly. Um I think you know which one I'm talking about. The one with the girls with the roundish looking heads. Um, Doremi, yes. I started watching MLP in middle school. It made a lot of friends, and made a lot of friends through it, and it really helped me open up to people. Wish I could go back to those days. Yeah, it's I can understand the nostalgia behind it. Like again, I'm not judging. I just think it's and I do think like the show has genuinely well-written elements to it that there's a reason why, so many parents watched it with their kids, for example. And like when I watched the first episode of MLP, I was significantly younger, but it brought me to tears watching that first episode. So I've been there, but I guess I never was able to be fully into it. I was never able to fully commit to the show. To me, it was just like this is like a fun show that I watch with my sister. And then it got really bad. It feels like the world is grinding to a halt, and the feeling that I had at the beginning of the 2010s that the world was moving towards something is dead. I don't know why you would ever feel like the world is moving towards something. Like, I feel like maybe this is a difference in my mindset, but I was very young when the Gulf oil spill happened. I think that was like 2011, right? So yeah, in 2011 I was let's see. Oh, wait. What is he doing? Did he just scratch me? No, he's just extending his hand out. But yeah, in 2011 I was if I could actually do math here, 9 years old. Um, and so um, during that time, I watched all of this occurring, and my dad gave me this big speech. I was really upset. I was very, very upset that this was going on, and he was explaining to me about how because of climate change, the world was going to end. And I was 9 years old when I was giving this speech, and he said, there's going to be wars over water. There's going to be, huge transformations of areas of land that are just going to be unarable. There's going to be massive migrations of people, and I was having all of this explained to me. And before that point, I already kind of knew the world was going to eventually end. Like, it had already been explained to me to some extent when I was even younger. But watching this oil spill happen, it had a profound effect on me. Like it made me it changed my perspective a lot. And so after all of that happened, I just sort of accepted that the world we live in is not tenable. It is going to fade away. And that's so like the idea that the world is moving towards something, that's something that I just fundamentally can't relate to because I was told at such a young age that it's not going to move towards something, that it's gonna all be over. And so that's just my mindset. It was instilled into me from the very beginning. It feels. Wait. Let's see. I liked MLP for about a month and stopped watching it. I see. What makes you get out of bed in the morning? I've just been depressed and laying around since I woke up. Um, I mean, I get out of bed just because it's something to do. Like I feel like we get so wound up in the idea of purpose behind things that sometimes I think the best thing is just to do it. And that sounds very like Christian moralist kind of thing to say. But I do think it is true. Like sometimes if you just do the thing afterwards, it feels better than having not done it. Um, or I don't really have a reason to exist. I don't feel like I need one. The reason to exist is the fact that I do exist. Is that as long as I exist, I'm here. And so there's no reason to not do things. But it does get really hard sometimes. Sometimes I do feel so bad that I just don't want to get up. And you just have to push through it. Um, I think like trying to find a reason just makes things more complicated. Sometimes you just have to push the rock up the hill, and maybe it goes back down, and you have to push it up again. But you know, it ultimately the for me it's about the struggle. As long as I'm here, potentially something can be made of it. Um, and so I try not to think about it very much because I feel like thinking about it just makes you more sad a lot of the time. History is cyclical, the world moves, but it also doesn't. I feel like it's better to focus on altering one's own trajectory in life instead. I mean, yeah, that makes sense. The internet still felt like a new and unexplored cultural frontier of full potential. I mean, if it's not that now, then why not turn it into one? You know? If you feel like the internet's it needs more good stuff in it, just make more good stuff. Then again, I'm also stuck in my bed staring at my phone being depressed, so I guess this is blind at attempting to lead the blind. Yeah, I know that feel. Um, Let's see. I don't really believe that global warming is man-made. Obviously, we're able to have a massive influence on the Earth like the Caspian Sea, but global temperatures naturally go up and down over time. Um, I mean, I think all the science shows that, the CO2. I don't really want to get into that because it's a long conversation, but yeah, I mean, I think the science is there. Um, let's see. Ofer, so you think you're smarter than most scientists. Um, have you read Albert Camus? Yes, he's one of my favorite authors. I have most of his books. I think there's like two of his books that I don't have. I have almost all of them. Um, I wish I had the skill and the drive and not just the ideas in my head. I'd love to make a website with a comfy small community like early Oboe-chan. I miss places like that. Yeah, I miss places like that too. Um, let's see. Uh, my internet just broke for a minute, and then all of a sudden I've heard your voice again. Had a moment of pure relief. Nice. Um, no, I don't believe I'm smarter than most people. Just from the scientists I've watched talk about the natural global temperature changes is more convincing to me. Um, do hashtag no phone. I agree. The only reason I'm using this phone is because it's easy to live stream on, and there are certain things that I need the phone for. But in general, if I could go no phone, I would. No phone is a thing, not surprising. I imagine it's beneficial as NoFap. It's as beneficial as NoFap. Is NoFap beneficial? Went from iPhone X to Galaxy S5 to fucking Nokia 6290. Um, that's quite a jump there. I have a Galaxy S8, but the only reason I have this phone is because it was stolen. Um, Basically what happened was my mom got this phone on like a loan. It was on layaway. She paid $60 one month. And then after doing that one payment, she just never paid it again. And it was like $1,000 payment. And then eventually she didn't keep paying the phone fee for like the internet and the calling people fee. And so because she didn't pay her phone provider AT&T, the bill just kept going up and up and up. And so the SIM card is stuck inside of this phone. It's assigned to this phone. You can't take it out or anything like that. It's just built into the phone. Um, and so the only way to ever call someone on this phone would have to have you pay $1,000 just to, get the phone unlocked, which is more than I would ever pay, especially because this phone is on its way out anyway. Um, so she has this like massive phone bill that was put on it, and she just gives me the phone because she's like, yeah, I can't use this phone to call anybody, so it's fine. And it's like, wait a minute, wait a minute. And so you spent like $1,000 on the phone itself, and now you've racked up hundreds and hundreds of dollars in debt on the phone bill. And it's like she racks up all of this debt getting a new phone just to give the phone to me. I find that so bizarre. And of course, I had way more use out of it because I use this to install apps onto and stuff. And obviously I use it for these videos. But I still think it's really bizarre that she went with a Samsung Galaxy S8 when all she needed to do was just call people. It was just to call people, you know? Um, NoFap is beneficial to some people in some circumstances. Yeah, I guess so. Um, I mean, I think porn is much more dangerous than actual sex, like, because now I haven't had sex, full disclosure. This is just my theory, but I think porn is more dangerous than actual sex because it sort of distorts your perception of reality and can lead to certain unrealistic expectations and obsessions that one has. And I don't know. I mean, I don't watch porn, so I feel like I'm one of those people who's looking at it as an outsider. I think porn is pretty gross, but I don't know. Let's see here. Isn't ham radio full of literal boomers? Probably. Ascend into ham radio communications. I want to get a ham radio set, 2D, 3D. I mean, I would agree with that, entirely on the basis that I think relationships for a lot of people are pretty unhealthy. Like, especially, people who, are you okay, Bert? Are you okay? But I think for a lot of people who don't have their lives worked out, relationships can be really unhealthy. I got into a relationship when I was like 15. Or wait, no, I just turned 16 at the time. And it was really, really unhealthy because my mental health wasn't in order. And, I probably, the end of the relationship wouldn't have been nearly as traumatic as it was if not for the fact that I was very mentally unstable. So I think, the whole 2D, 3D thing for a lot of people is a better alternative, but at the same time, like Flubs is saying, hentai can be dangerously addictive. Um, and I don't know, I feel like it would just have weird effects on the mind, you know? Like, I don't know. There are plenty of boomers on ham radio, but on the flip side, there are occasional autists and tinfoil hatters, and that make it worth it to keep up. Um, yeah, it would be cool to get into ham radio. I want to get it. Uh, I can't imagine wanting to deal with a relationship in our cybergoth dystopia. Yeah, no, it's a totally fair opinion to have. Um, Lately, I've been thinking about the idea literally just because I want someone to do shrooms with. I was like, if I have a relationship right now, I would have someone I can do shrooms with. That would be so fun. And then I had to take a step back and think, wait a minute. So if I got into a relationship right now, it would literally just be with the sole intention of doing shrooms with someone, you know? That's not a very good basis to build your relationship off of. And so then I backed away from the idea. I backed away from the idea because it seemed retarded. Um, let's see. What the fuck is a ham radio? I don't know how to explain ham radio. I think Install Gen 2 could explain it better because he's a tech guy. Um, There's a lot of people on YouTube called Install Gen 2. Radio in general, from what I've heard, is mainly popular with boomers, third worlders, and the religious. Third worlders are absolutely based. Like, if I could speak Russian, if I could, like, speak Russian and talk with, like, people in ex-Soviet countries over ham radio, that would be fucking awesome. Um, let's see, I'm an MK Ultra victim. There's poison in my system. There's statues of people making it in Rome and Greece. I see. Um, amateur radio stations to keep it short. Yeah. There's shortwave radio. Review Bra recommends the best shortwave radios. I never put in the money to get one because I have to be very, very careful with what I spend my money on, because I only have so much of it. And so let's see here. I feel like our brain is not evolved to know how to handle porn. I mean, maybe. I was about to say Review Bra. I love Review Bra. Yeah, Review Bra he is a good man. He is. I love his videos. Um, you know what? Let's play a video game. Let's see. Let me put this over here. What video game shall I play? Why is there just random toilet paper here? Yeah, that's the little... I live in trash, by the way, guys. This is my little trash corner. There's just trash over there. I live in trash. Algebra for Dummies. Get this the fuck out of my face. Let's see. What do we play? What are we gonna play? If neighbor heard of amateur radio stations, I've never heard of amateur radio stations, but it's a thing, I guess. Yeah. What should I play? What video game? Let's see. Let's see here. Let's turn the light on. The Flash. The Flash. The Flash. We could play Russian Attack. You know, Attack of the Russians are coming. They're coming for us. Ooh, this game. This game. Snake Rattle and Roll. Let's pop that in. That's a good game. You can make a fleshlight with a latex glove and a toilet roll. I learned about that last month. Nice. Um, oh, where are my pliers? There's a game in here. Okay, so this is the weird thing about my NES. Because my NES is modded with a blinking light win, basically the component that makes it to where the game gets pushed down does not function. And so you can't push the games down. There's an entirely new 72 pin connector that's in here, that makes it to where you can't push the games down. It just turns the machine into a front loader. Now this is great because the fact that the pins are constantly being pushed on leads to systems being broken, but it's not great because with the new pin connector that's in there, they take forever to take the games out. They have a big, strong grip on all of the games. And so that makes things really difficult. And for that, you need pliers. And I don't know where my pliers are. I had pliers in here somewhere, and they got lost. And I don't know if I'm going to be able to get the game in the machine. Because, well, okay, what game do I even have in the machine? I think it's a goddamn pinball game. Yeah, it's high-speed pinball. I don't, yeah, no, I don't have pliers, so I can't take the game that's in there out. Um, I'm serious with you. I may be not very strong. Look at this, my arms are small as fuck. But it does put, like, a serious grip on whatever you put in the machine. And so I think it's too much effort. I think it's too much effort to, let's see, is there something theoretically, there's something I could play in here. Um, do you guys play a PS2 game? I have a lot of PS2 games to play. I've played this on stream before. Some of these don't work though. Like this game doesn't work. DT Carnage, Siren, Switch Games, Mercenaries 2. Mercenaries 2 is a good game, but it's not good on the PS2. The PS2 version is not very good at all. Manhunt, SOCOM. Yeah, I don't, there's PS1 games over here. Yu-Gi-Oh! Yeah, that's yeah, I don't want to play any of these. I might just take the Switch out. I might take the Switch out and play something on there. Oh boy, a lot of conversation. Let me see here. I think it's the simplicity of his existence. Yeah, his existence is very simple. It's nice. I wonder if I could make my own network where the whole network is displayed as a 3D space you walk around. That would be really cool. In a few days, you will find your pilers and be mad because you can't remember why you needed them. Your pliers! Um, I wish I could find them. I mean, I only use them for one thing. The only reason I have pliers is to get games into and out of my NES. So I don't really have them for any other purpose. Uh, let's see. Was I supposed to take these today? I don't remember. Um, let's just play the Switch today. I have the Kazakhstan flag right there above my TV. If any of you were wondering about this, that's what that is. That's the Kazakhstan flag. Yeah, I think it looks pretty cool. I love flags from obscure countries that no one knows about, and I want to go there. I want to film videos in Kazakhstan. That's like one of my big goals is to film videos there. And I think it's a pretty flag. Hey, what are you doing up here? You're gonna scratch my Switch up. Don't do that. Um, I don't actually have anything to put my phone onto now, to come to think of it. If I don't have a tripod that I can use to prop up my phone, I'm basically just sitting here holding it. Um, let's see. Did you know there was a hentai on UMD? I had no idea, no. Being dice legs itch. I don't know what that means. You should have an Israeli flag in your room. That would be pretty funny. That would be hilarious. I might do that just for the meme. Like, I have a Chinese flag in my room as a joke. Um, let's see. I think he was making a dyslexia joke. I see. Um, but yeah, like it's funny because the joke is that I have all of these anime posters. I have all of these anime posters here. Like you've got the Lane poster, you've got the Ponyo Ponyo Digikara poster, you've got the K-On poster, Spirited Away, and then you've got like some video games here like Akuji the Heartless, Doom, Grand Theft Auto 3, that kind of stuff. Um, and then all of the sudden, looking above all of this, you just have this giant Chinese flag. And I think that's hilarious. Like the contrast of all of this Japanese media and then China. It's fucking based. Um, what makes you want to go to Kazakhstan? Um, Kazakhstan's cool. I don't know. I just like the architecture's really pretty, and I've never seen a place that looks quite as bizarre as the capital of Kazakhstan, Astana. Astana, it's the weirdest looking place in the world. Seriously, go look at pictures of it. I don't know what to make of it. It just looks so weird. It's very, very cold there. Uh, and yeah, a Russian flag would be great. The Russian flag looks too similar to the French flag, I think. Um, but yeah, what was I gonna say? Um, I had a point. I had a point I was gonna make. I forget what it was. There's like the food, the fact that people eat goats' heads there and shit. There's something else. The way the people look, Chinese, but they speak Russian. I just love the way that Russian sounds. Um, and the old Soviet apartments that they have in like Almaty look really cool. The fact that it gets to like -50 degrees in the wintertime, that's fucking sick. Yeah, no, Kazakhstan's just really, really cool. Like the more that I learn about the country, the more cool I think it is. It wouldn't be an ideal place to like, spend the rest of my life or whatever, because like I really like drugs, and because it's more of like an authoritarian country, that would be a difficult thing to do there. I mean, weed just grows everywhere. There's just weed everywhere there, so that wouldn't be too hard to get. But in terms of like other things like RCs and shit, yeah, that would be pretty difficult to get. Um, so I wouldn't want to live there for like the rest of my life or whatever. But I would love to spend substantial amounts of time there just because it's so aesthetic. It's such an aesthetic place. I want to go to Mongolia and live in a yacht for a few weeks. That'd be cool. I was Warsaw once. I was in Warsaw once, and it was very comfy. Warsaw looks very comfy. Astana looks like from an old anime OVA. I know it's amazing. Um, Soviet architecture is great. The amazing combination of gray and brown makes you so emotionless you just stop giving a shit about what your government is doing. I just think it looks efficient. It's very cool. Um, I mean, this sort of idea that, oh, the Soviet Union is so oppressive and bad and all this. If you actually talk to people who lived under the Soviet Union, they always say how happy everyone was. Like, it's weird. Like, you watch interviews of old Russian people, and I've never heard this about any other country. You know, you could hear about authoritarian countries like Brazil's military junta or something, and people always have nostalgia for it. There's always going to be nostalgia for countries that do bad things because people were younger then. But I've never heard about another country people using the phrase people were happy all the time. That to me that just doesn't make sense. Like when I hear that there's a level of disconnect that I have when I hear that phrase. But I've only ever heard Russians say that. Um, and it's very, very weird. It's very, very weird to think about. Like the way that people, the way that Russians talk about happiness, back then. I think it's interesting. Um, Ask the Polish about the USSR. Yeah, no, the what was it? The Poland had a lot of problems, especially like during the 80s, with austerity and stuff like that. Um, let's see, I can't talk for the Soviet Union, but all the Germans who grew up in the German Democratic Republic fucking hated that shit, except for some blue-pilled exceptions. I mean, I've seen polls that have come out from the GDR that have said like that have said that the majority of people who live in East Germany now want it back. I mean, those are polls. The margin of error, could be incorrect there. But there's a lot of polls of people who live in East Germany that say that life was better under the GDR. So, I don't know. Maybe these specific people just have a much better position in like business or something. But I mean, if you at least from the polls that I've read and the specific interviews that I've read, there's a lot of fucking people who want to go back. Um, no, I don't mean polls as in Polish people. I mean like polls that are done, like percentages, opinion polling, this kind of thing. Um, they have coffee shops in Ireland where you can get hash, weed, and coffee, and there's a good YouTuber, Life of Boris. He is Russian. I've never heard of Life of Boris. I'll have to check him out. I didn't know they had that in Ireland. That's pretty cool. I have an Irish friend. You think he would have told me about that? But yeah, I didn't know about that. That's pretty cool. Um, but yeah, no, I would rather live in East Germany than America, definitely. Um, the DDR sucked ass. How could anyone want it back? I mean, like, think of it this way, right? If you go from a system in which every person has a job, if every single person is guaranteed housing and a job, and you're a homeless person now, you're probably going to want it back, you know? Um, let's see, they chose your education, job, friends, etc. In the USSR, it's much harder to get those today. They didn't choose your friends. I mean, you sort of freely associated with who you want, and they didn't choose your job either. Like, you went to school for the kind of job that you wanted, and then you just got that job. If you didn't finish school, as in college, you just got a job. There were always jobs that they had for people. And so like when you go from a system of universal employment, universal housing, universal healthcare to all of the sudden not having those things, the fact that like for example, you had to wait in line to get a car. Um, it it sucked for some people who had more money because you had to ration the cars out to people. But now they don't have car rationing, but people just don't have money to buy cars. Whereas before, they would have at least had the money eventually. And so that's the sort of logic behind it. Like, if you're deeply impoverished now and you didn't live that way the under the Communist Party, you're going to prefer it. Um, there was only one car. Yeah, no, and the car that they had was pretty bad. It had like this weird gas thing that you had to do. It was a bad car. Um, let's see. The secret police was literally everywhere. Everybody was being monitored. I mean, like I know that there's some propaganda out there about that, oh, the Stasi was so evil and they were everywhere and this kind of thing. They were bad. I'm not going to say that they weren't bad. They did bad things, but the idea that they were monitoring everyone 24/7, that's just not true. Um, but it's not like they weren't bad. It's not like they didn't do bad things, but there there's substantial evidence that would say that would say the opposite to that a lot of that stuff is just made up. Um, but again, East Germany was an authoritarian state. Like I'm not going to say it wasn't bad or that it wasn't authoritarian in a lot of ways. But I think people are way too extreme, way too extreme with how they describe certain aspects of the country. When you really look into the history of it, it's not it. Let's see. What do you think about becoming a hermit, growing food, and building your own house? I would love to do that. It would be very cool to live in like the mountains or something, and just build my own house there in the mountains and not worry about anything. Have my little pets, be able to be able to grow my own food, and that would be like an ideal life. I can't think of one thing that wasn't bad in the DDR. That is what we call being indoctrinated by propaganda, my friend. But yeah, uh, like, like it's one of those things where if I could be a hermit on my own, if I did not have to worry about money, if there was no care in the world, and I could just be there with my own food, everything, my pets, everything I could want. I wouldn't have a worry in the world. I would just be on my own. I would be at peace. And I think about that constantly. I think about leaving and just being a hermit in the mountains in the woods somewhere. The problem is, though, other people own that land, so a lot of the time it's not really feasible. If I had like my own land where I could do that, that would be amazing. That's a big goal of mine. Um, Vice did a documentary about a South American guy that lived on his own ranch and didn't speak to people for a ridiculous amount of time. That's pretty cool. Uh, how about becoming a Tibet monk? You get free housing and food. I've thought about that a lot. I might not want to do it in Tibet now, given the circumstances that are going on over there. Um, but yeah, no, I would absolutely love to become like a monk in like Bhutan or one of those other Asian countries. If it was possible, if I could learn the language, I would do it 100% immediately. Like, there's a couple things I would want to do in America, and I would want to travel around first and this kind of stuff. Um, but if I could do that, I would absolutely love to. Um, Have you been keeping up with Hiding in My Room's South Korea videos? Are making me want to go there. It looks like a beautiful country. I think South Korea looks kind of depressing, to be honest with you. At nighttime it can look pretty, but I think Taiwan looks much more pretty than South Korea. I would much prefer to go to Taiwan than South Korea. Um, South Korea looks very like homogeneous. Um, let's see here. Uh, let's see here. Let's see. Harmony Korine made a documentary about an Americano who lived alone in the woods. Nice. Tibetan Buddhism is based in India now, pretty much. I mean, hey, maybe I'll go to India. Um, South Korea is a hellscape. I agree. Um, yeah, no, again, I'm not saying that the DDR wasn't authoritarian or didn't do really bad things. I'm simply telling you that the media narrative surrounding it is much more extreme than it actually was. And there are real people who lived there who will tell you the same thing. Um, let's see here. There's actually a Buddhist temple near my house in Canada. It's like a communal house. Oh, cool. North Korea would be more fun to go to. It would be an interesting experience. I want to visit every country. If I could visit every country, that would be really cool. The problem is that uh, there's certain like war-torn countries like Yemen and Syria that would be pretty dangerous to go to. But even then, like if I could have a safe travel plan, I would love to do that. Jews have their own version of Buddhism, which is kind of bizarre. Huh. Huh. I had no idea. Um, you can travel to North Korea, not as an American, you can't. You should get and fly an FPRY flag to dab on all of the fascists that are going to Kook Pit. Nice. Uh, you can't go there now because they closed their borders to non-all essentials because of Corona Chan. Yeah, Corona, they closed the borders because of the coronavirus. Um, but yeah, I wanna travel everywhere. I just don't have the money to do it because traveling's really expensive. Um, your passport would look awesome, stamps and visas from all countries. It would. It really, really would. That's the goal. I want to get a visa and a passport that has every single stamp that I can get. Um, Star, do you have an opinion on current Vietnam? Um, I've never been there. Uh, I don't know. I think. I think there's some cool things that they do like there's a lot of medical patients who are in the US who have cancer where they go to Vietnam and they only have to pay like a couple $100 or something to do their cancer treatment. Like it's like a heinously small amount. I've read a little bit about that. I've heard that their healthcare system's pretty good. I mean, I think that's cool. I mean, people not having to pay money is cool. Um, their language sounds really bad. I don't like the way Vietnamese sounds. Let's see what else. Uh, yeah, I don't really have much of an opinion. They build a lot of cool infrastructure, I guess. Spooky. The DPRK is going to get the coronavirus pretty bad. I mean, they get a lot of shipments from China, right? So if the Chinese shipments get if the Chinese shipments get contaminated, then, spooky with two zeros, nice. Um, uh, but I wanted to live in Vietnam for a while because it's very cheap. Um, it's very cheap to live in Vietnam. And I've considered living there just because of how cheap it is. Vietnamese and Thai are shit languages. They sound so retarded. It's an entire country of people speaking like they have Down syndrome. Thai at least is redeemed by having a very cool written language. Um, I wouldn't go that far, but yeah, they don't sound very good. I like the way their music sounds though. Their music sounds cool. Just hearing about people with cancer who can't afford to pay the treatment makes me cringe hard. I guess social democracy has done its job in Germany. Yes. Keimer is the worst language. I don't know much of what Keimer sounds like. Um, I've thought about living. I could become a Cambodian Buddhist monk. I could do it. You guys think I could do it? That's okay. New goal. New stretch goal on the Patreon. Star becomes a Cambodian Buddhist monk. Yes. Um, but no, I think like when I'm done here in America, when I've done all of the drugs that I want to do, and I've started playing and I've played like all of the video games that I'm interested in, which I've almost done. I've almost done. Um, then I can just leave. Like once once the list of drugs that I want to do is over, I'm it's like I'm done. What else do I have to look forward to? I could just go to Cambodia and become a Buddhist monk, and it would be amazing. It would be amazing. I would be entirely sober and just focusing on opening my mind through the confines of what the human spirit is capable of. Yeah, that would be cool, I think. Star going on a trip to the supermarket of ideology right now. Damn. Have you been getting into Zizek? No, thank you. Um, you are all wrong. German is the worst language. I like the way German sounds. I've heard that there's some parts of Texas that are very cheap to live, and they have very relaxed building codes. I saw on YouTube a house made out of beer cans. That's pretty cool. Um, a little, I see. But yeah, no, if I could become a monk, it would be the coolest thing. Do you really want to do a lot of drugs, or is it a meme? Man, I already do a lot of drugs. He really does. Yeah, no, it's not a meme. I don't know where you've been, but yeah, I already the like, isn't that very not compatible with schizophrenia? I mean, I've been fine so far. Um, I like German since I grew up hearing it spoken by my family. That's pretty cool. Is that why you're like a pagan or whatever? I'm only assuming you're a pagan because of the weird aesthetics that you have on your name and picture and stuff. Um, Star, you haven't heard the different German dialects, believe me. Yeah, yeah. If I heard the different dialects, I'd probably get annoyed. My grandma has schizophrenia, so I'm really scared of doing drugs. I mean, like, I've used things that should theoretically really fuck you up if you have schizophrenia, and they didn't do that. So, like for example, spice. I used this it was like a mixture of K4 and a bunch of other like synthetic cannabinoids, and it had some kind of amphetamine in there as well. I don't know exactly all of what was in there. There were a bunch of fucking things. It was really, really gross. Um and I had taken like four hydrocodone pills, and I smoked like half of this spice blunt, and I went pretty insane for a little while. But afterwards, after it was over, I was fine. And I threw up all over the place, and I did like hallucinate a little bit experiencing this. But as horrifying as that experience was as it was going through, um, it was interesting. Like doing DPH, for example. Like DPH made all of my mental health systems or symptoms significantly worse as I was doing DPH, but I just didn't care because it was interesting. Like if I have a bad trip or a bad experience with drugs, like in my mind, it literally does not matter because it's interesting. It's a change. It's a change of consciousness. Um, it's only certain that drugs could possibly bring out schizophrenia. Yeah, like potentially they can worsen symptoms in the moment. In the moment they can worsen symptoms, but like if you already have it, it's not going to do anything to you that's not already there, you know? Um, let's see here. My name is just meaningless, randomly generated name. It just liked the way it looked. The thing is, though, too, is that they're not even sure. They're not even sure if I have schizophrenia or not. Like, when I talked to my psychologist, what was it, 2 days ago? It was the 10, yeah, 2 days ago. She said that it's much more likely that I have PTSD. And so, like, the way that I experience hallucinations is not even the same as normal schizophrenic people, according at least to my doctor, you know? So I maybe the reason I haven't had some sort of like horribly traumatic experience that have made me never want to do drugs again or something like that is because I actually just have PTSD instead. It I really don't know. They don't know for sure with me. In Star's next arc, he moves to Colorado to start a weed farm like Randy Marsh. That would be cool. Um, have you heard of the Freudian slip? I think it's the coolest thing. Oh yeah, no, I use the Freudian slip as like a joke, as like a gag pretty regularly. I think it's fun. It's not pharmacological determinism, i.e., if you take acid and have schizophrenia, you will have psychotic break. It's more like the acid is a strong stressor, and any stressor can cause psychosis. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like if you have a really bad trip, which by the way, you can just take trip killers and it'll help you end the trip. But if you have a really bad trip, then it could induce a psychotic break at the time. But I just literally don't care about the risk with that. I just don't. Um, let's see here. Have you seen the study that auditory hallucinations, that new research shows they're far more common outside of schizoid type conditions than previously thought? I did not know that, no. I mean, that would make a hell of a lot of sense with me because, like I said, they've been completely unable to diagnose me with anything, and now that I've actually done an in-depth psych eval, they think I have PTSD instead. So, I mean, given all of the different diagnoses that I've been given, that they just can't figure me out, it would make sense. It would make a lot of sense because people think, oh, you've hallucinated a few times. You just have schizophrenia, you know? That's what my psychiatrist said, but my psychiatrist also wanted to put me on a fuck ton of pills, probably because she's getting paid by the companies who make them, you know? PTSD sounds logical to me. I've heard that German World War One soldiers with PTSD were treated with opioids. Would explain your affinity for opioids. Laughing face. Yes. Um, I wish I got to be one of those soldiers. Damn. I've had a few auditory hallucinations. I haven't had one in over a year. Yeah. It implies that rather than psychotic things being defined by having hallucinations, it would be more that the contents of those hallucinations, for example, if you did hear a name that's in BD. I see. Oh shit, is the mailman here? Let me check if that's the mailman or if that's someone else going to the door. I hear cars coming around near my house all the time, and then I get false excitement because I think it's the mailman. I close out the blinds here. I'll link you on Discord. Yeah, very cool. Please do. Please do. Um, but yeah, no, it's impossible for me to worry about my own mental health. I think I've discovered this is that it's like impossible for me to care about my own mental health at all. Um, I just don't care about it. And I don't understand why other people care about it. It just doesn't. Do you want to eat this? Wait, no, this has garlic. You can't eat this. Do you wanna eat this? Here. Eat this. Wait, no, that has tomatoes. Don't eat that. You can't eat tomatoes. Can't eat tomatoes. He cannot have that. Dogs can't have that. What can I give him? I want to give him something nice. All of this people food he can't have because they have what should I do? I'll link you on Discord. I don't think the mailman got here. I didn't see the mail truck, so I'm assuming the mailman didn't get here. This kitchen is an absolute mess today. Haha, I'm the same way. Been conditioned to get excited whenever I see the mailman. Yeah. Dude, this kitchen is such a fucking mess. Look at this. Look at this. It's like I'm in an episode of Hoarders or something. This whole house. This whole house is like an episode of Hoarders. Hello, Bert. Well, I looked in here. I don't think there's anything special that I can give you. I know there's not in the fridge. So I'm gonna put you back in the room. Unless, actually, let me just go check. It looks like a Chris Chan house. That one that got burned down. Yeah, a bit. I'm gonna check what the fuck is this living room? Well, that's what it is. Let's see here. Uh, well, it doesn't look like anything got there yet. I guess I'll wait until about 1 p.m. I'll wait until about 1 p.m. and then if the mail's not here, I'm just assuming it's not gonna get here. Um, let's see. It's because normies have a reputation to conserve. That's why they care about their mental health. It's like going to a dentist. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like, for me, I've been unhappy for so long that the idea of me being unhappy for longer, it's like, it's something I can't change. So why the hell would I worry about that? At least if I go insane, that's going to be interesting. That's going to be very, very interesting if I go insane. And if it happens, it happens. I just don't care. Um, like, uh, I don't know. It's really really hard for me to care about my own health in general, like physical health. You know, for example, when I had a kidney stone, like months and months before I had gotten diagnosed with a kidney stone, I had went to the bathroom, I pissed blood, I looked down at the toilet, and then I just walked out. I literally did not care. I had no reaction to the fact that I was pissing blood. And then other people, they've told me that they would have freaked out if they saw that was like an immediate sign. When I was talking to the doctor, she had to come in and say, okay, now I don't want to startle you here, but I think you have a kidney stone. Now, okay, don't get upset. And I said, I'm not upset. I had a totally straight face. It was like everyone around me in the room looked like someone had just died. And I was just entirely calm. I've been in so many near-death scenarios where everyone else was freaking out, and I mean actual NDEs, and I was completely calm. It didn't bother me, because the idea of my own life ending is something I'm totally disconnected from. You know, like, it's very, very hard for me to care. Um, Mental health isn't important, dental hygiene isn't important. I mean, the only reason to ever brush your teeth is in case you're going to have sex with someone. There's no other reason. Like, I don't. I've barely brushed my teeth for like months, and the I think I've actually lied about how much I brush my teeth before. Um, like I think I used to say on streams that I try to brush my teeth once a day. That was a total lie. I barely ever brush my teeth. Um, but I can't say that because it makes me sound like I want to have it. This is the way my mind works, right? I want to have it in the back of my mind that if there's someone who sees my YouTube channel and wants to have sex with me, I need to look more appealing. So I have to, like, little things like, okay, I'm not going to talk about that. I'm not going to talk about that. About like my own physical health and these kind of things. But if randomly one person does catch on, I'm going to automatically start like, okay, time to brush my teeth all the time, time to make my hair look good, time to fix these other things. Like, it's like in a rush, I try to fix all of the stuff that I haven't been focusing on. But otherwise, I would just act like those things had been done the whole time, you know? Um, and I think that dishonesty is probably a bad thing. And I mean, obviously, I'm saying that I was dishonest about it for a long time now. Uh, let's see. I'm so edgy and aloof, guys. I don't care about my physical health. Why am I so depressed? This is the thing, right? This is the thing is that the edginess and aloof isn't the cause of the depression, but they are a symptom of the depression. And so the depression goes on regardless of if you're doing that. It's like a response. At least if you're being edgy and aloof, it makes the depression more fun. Um, let's see here. Uh, my mom brought me spinach pizza, so I'm going to leave for some time. Okay, see you later, man. Um, my teeth are really fucked up from soda and binging and purging, and I rarely ever brush them. My dentist doesn't even say much about it, though. Yeah, I mean, like, I don't really drink soda very much, but when I do, I never let it touch my teeth. You're not supposed to have it touch your teeth. Mental is basically an extension of physical health. I mean, like, I'm not saying they don't affect one another. I just don't care. I don't understand why people care. That's the point I'm making. Is that I just don't care. And being sad is not so bad. If I like, in a sense, in a sense, it's like a superpower. Because if you want to kill yourself and your life doesn't have any meaning, you can do whatever you want. You have no rules anymore. There's zero rules for you. And so you can do whatever the hell you want, and it's great. Let's see. Did you know that in World War II Germany, everyone was high on meth the whole time? Meth was a very popular drug sold in pharmacies. Jesus Christ. Um, Yeah, I mean, I know you used to be able to buy like morphine in stores in the US and stuff like that. They put Donald Trump in the new Death Note manga. That's a little bit silly. Um, US used Adderall. It was more effective because you could sleep after 12 hours and weren't wired for 24. Makes sense. There were other stimulants that the military used to use as well. I know that the U.S. military in Vietnam used a lot of ketamine in like medical procedures and stuff. That's cool. Imagine going to Vietnam and then getting wired on ketamine. That'd be so cool. The Luftwaffe to cope with G forces. Yes. I meant Luftwaffe use drugs. Yes. I read that ISIS fighters also take a bunch of drugs. So that goes directly against Islam. What the hell? Let's. But yeah, no, I would rather be depressed and want to kill myself and then be able to do anything I want than be a normie and care about things. I feel like it's a better trade-off. If you're at least allowed to do whatever you want because you don't care, then you can have more fun. Of course, it's very short term, but I don't believe that life has meaning anyway, so it doesn't matter. The Taliban sell heroin and have sex with little boys. Yeah, there were U.S. military contractors that WikiLeaks had showed that U.S. military contractors were having sex with underage boys as well, and that the U.S. military right now have been protecting poppy fields in Afghanistan. Very strange. Um, Bayer used to sell morphine as cough medicine during the XX century. Now that's base. Let's see. If I lived in the mountains, I could grow poppies. I can't grow poppies here, but if I lived in the mountains, I could. Kind of funny how Afghanistan was has defeated the USSR, the British Empire, and now America. Yeah, R.I.P. That little kingdom, this little landlocked kingdom has been the subject of so many different wars, you know? Aren't you attracted to the idea of having a purpose? No, I don't think the idea of a purpose exists. I think people just like, how do I explain this? You're a different person every day that you wake up. You're never going to be the same person that you were yesterday. I don't believe in continuity of self, that you're the same person. Um, and so like this idea of this is my purpose, and I can't relate to that. I can't relate to the idea of having something that where you say this is who I am, because who you are is always changing. It's never the same. You're never the same person. Um, and so like I it, I don't, how do I explain this? I think I would need to write down my thoughts and then make a video about this, because it would make much more sense than just me rambling about it on a live stream. But the I because I don't really believe in the idea. Um, let's see. Not caring about things just makes you lethargic. Nihilism is a disease. I don't get lethargic. Like the kind of people who complain about these physical health symptoms are people who actually get them. I don't get them. Um, let's see. War is the easiest thing to give men purpose, might be one of the reasons why it happens so long. You're just attaching yourself to, like, people who go to war are just attaching themselves to movements that they don't really understand, but are doing so because they believe they're a part of something. People like being a part of something. I've never wanted to be a part of anything. I don't relate to people who have these friend groups where they say, "Oh, now I'm a part of this friend group and this is mine." Every single friend group I've ever been a part of, I was always the outlier. I was always like the individualist guy who was never really a part of things, who was always kind of doing their own thing. Um, I don't I don't see people as units. I see myself as an entity rather than a being, you know? Is that I think human beings, they see themselves as people. I don't see myself as a person. I see myself as, yeah, I would need to I would need to have to I would need to really expand on a lot of these things, because it's difficult for me to explain off the cuff. Where a lot of, I guess what you could whittle it down to is all of this like normie shit that you guys are talking about being good for mental health just didn't work for me. And I tried for a really long time, and I didn't relate to it in like fundamental ways. And I could expand on it more if I had more time to prepare, but to be honest, even if people try to attach themselves to a grand purpose, they usually just end up doing whatever they want in the moment anyway. Yes, I agree 100%. Um, it's refreshing hearing someone who thinks the same way as me. Nice. Yeah, no, I've felt that way many times. A lot of depressed people achieve happiness when they find purpose. Those people were not depressed. And it usually takes them years. You're still very young, Star. Maybe your purpose is the way to go. No, I don't think those people were actually depressed. If all of they needed to do was find, oh, I just found my magic thing, and I just need to make art forever or whatever. If those people were not depressed. Um, the state uses war as a way to justify itself as a tentpole of people's lives. I agree. Vomit, vomit, blood, blood. War is just a business after all. Pee pee poo poo. Hey, I330. Yeah, we're having the depression discussion. So I think this is like your what is it called? This is your field of expertise. Um, but yeah, no, I don't know. Maybe maybe when I become a Buddhist monk or something, I'll get enlightened and figure it out. I was halfway memeing about that earlier, but that is something that I am considering doing, because all of the positions that I'm explaining now, like this is how I feel now, but I don't know, maybe if I can master my own mind and master my own self by becoming a woke monk, I'll come back to all of you one day. I'll come back to all of you one day and tell you that I was wrong. Who knows? Yes, they were. People are depressed and want to kill themselves for longer than you've been alive. No, I don't. If you can fix it just by making art or finding some kind of purpose or starting a family, you were sad about not having those things. That's very different than depression. I don't think those people were sincerely depressed. But like normies want to kill themselves all the time. Like it's a pretty normal thing that occurs. Ah, yes, depression circle jerks. Like there've been a lot of normies who, they break up with their girlfriend or whatever and they're like Red, like that guy. He's like, "Oh, I want to kill myself. My GF broke up with me." It happens all the time. Like just because someone is sad for an extended period of time or is sad for even years, and they find that one thing that was missing in their life, like truly depressed people don't have that one thing that was just missing. That's not how it works. You don't you don't just change your perspective and then all of a sudden the problem is gone. You learn to manage the problem as time goes on. Like if someone had suddenly found a purpose if someone had suddenly found a purpose and it helps them manage the pain, then the pain is still there. It's still in the background. If the pain suddenly disappears, then if it suddenly disappears, then that person was not depressed. They just needed that thing. Um, and so like it's one thing to manage the pain by distracting yourself through like making art or having some other kind of purpose. But it's another thing for it to entirely disappear. Truly depressed people manage the pain, but the pain doesn't go away. It stays there. It's just part of who you are. Um, you fix depression by learning to weather the storm. Happiness is a hard discipline. I don't believe in discipline. I don't like it's not how do I explain this? If you have to discipline yourself to do something, like if you it's the same thing with hard work. Hard work doesn't uh how do I explain this? Uh, Happiness is hard discipline. It's not discipline if you're happy. Like if you're happy and you're enjoying yourself, the words hard discipline don't go with happy because hard discipline would imply some kind of pain that you're enacting onto yourself. It's not the same thing. Like Hindu fundamentalists think cow poo can cure the coronavirus. That's funny. Um, how do you know you can't find the things that make you happy? You're very young, Star. I already have things that make me happy. I never said that I couldn't find them. I already have stuff that I use to cope all the time. That is right, Outlaw. You sound like my doctor. Damn. Um, I mean, my doctor said the same stuff to me. Um, but pessimist meme ideology. What is Dharma? Um, let's see. What was I gonna say? There was a point. Hard discipline. Oh yeah. So no, I don't think that making yourself experience more pain is how you make pain go away. Uh, that seems like a bit of a meme to me. Um, it's it's hard work. I like everything I've ever done that's good, or the people around me have always achieved things through just doing them. They didn't achieve them through blood, sweat, and tears and all this other bullshit. They achieved them just by doing them. Like, if you have to force yourself to do something, you probably shouldn't be doing it because it's just making you feel worse. Um, I don't know. Ugh. it's all a big mess, and it's all a big mess up there. Don't listen to anything I say. I don't know what I'm talking about. Um, but I don't know. I wish it, the brain is so complicated, you know? Like the brain is so complicated that it's difficult to say who's right or wrong, you know? Um, Hey Star, depression is an everlasting state of mourning. As you said, you just try to manage the pain and live with it, and that's enough, really. Yeah, I agree. Sometimes you need to experience pain to heal, unfortunately. Staying in your room 24/7, cooming to furry vor might make you feel comfortable, but it won't help you feel better. Yeah. Um, yeah, no, I do think that you can't have ups without downs necessarily. Sometimes you do need downs to have ups, and they can be experiences that you can learn from. But I don't like this idea that like this obsession that people have with putting themselves in pain. Starting to understand how the vomit stream happened. Um, Let's see. Sometimes you need to do something that hurts to heal the wounds. Grieving is painful, but in the long run, it will make you feel better. Yeah, I agree with that. Um, I think that makes sense. But let's see. What was I going to say? What happened after the vomit stream anyway? After the vomit stream anyway. I ended up just eating food. I was just eating food to sober up, and then I was done. Um, the thing is that when you're drinking as much as I was, it becomes more difficult to perceive how much is too much, and so you just start drinking more. But I know my limits much better now. I know my limits much better now after that stream, and so it was a learning experience, you know? You have to have bad experiences in order to learn from them. How hard did Daddy beat you? When he saw that the glass was broken, he said, "Oh, that was your mother's glass. Whatever." He just kind of said, "Yeah, it was your mom's. I don't care." And then he said he had said that he would appreciate it if I didn't drink that much from now on. That he was saving it for a special occasion, um, and so that was about it. Let's see. What was I gonna say? I cleaned up most of the glass after the stream as well. But yeah, that was really funny. Oh, it was your mom's. It's fine. Um, but but let's see. Oh, he wasn't mad at all. Like, but after that, I stopped taking it without anybody knowing because it's wrong. You shouldn't just take other people's stuff. Base neglectful dad. The thing was though is that after that I didn't want to take it anymore. Um, Funny to hear from everyone that everyone that they've learned their limits after they vomit. Um, I feel like if he had yelled at me, I just would have wanted to take the alcohol even more. Like the weird thing with me is that when someone yells at me and gets angry, I want to do the thing way more. But when someone is just nice and tells me not to do it again, then I just decide not to do it. And still to this day, I haven't messed with it ever since then because it's not mine, and it's the right thing to do. So. Yeah, I pretty much learned my lesson on that one. But if he got mad, I would have, like, literally the next day, I would have just done it again. That's I don't know why I'm like that. I guess it's sort of like a rebellious nature or something like that. But when someone is nice, I want to do the thing less. Dadgun deleted the weird submissive thing he said in the chat. Hmm. I don't know why he does that. He always deletes stuff that he says. But he was at work. He had no way of knowing that I was doing all of that anyway. What was I going on about? Yeah, I think I'm becoming dumber in some ways. Like there are certain things that I just have so much more trouble explaining now off the cuff on streams. And I used to be better at doing it. Maybe I haven't practiced as much as I used to. I drank the most the I drank the most of a the most. I think I drank most of a 750 milliliter vodka bottle and lots of beer. I was completely fine until I woke up the next day after I apparently blacked out and stopped functioning. It was fun. It sounds fun. I got mad at my authority figures for telling me anything. It's a conditioned response from years of school teachers and of parents failing and misleading me. I don't get mad whenever authority figures tell me stuff. Um, I don't really I don't really get mad at all. It's more of like oh if they got mad at me, I'm going to get back at them, you know? Um it's I have trouble getting angry about anything. Anger is a very very hard emotion for me to feel. Um like I feel like the type of people who get really into like gore and stuff or into like fantasies of like hurting other people, they do that because they're angry. For me, like with surgical operation videos, for example, like I often fantasize about being a surgeon just because I want to cut people open. Like that's a fascinating concept to me. The idea of taking someone and torturing them before killing them, that shit's fascinating. But I'm not fascinated with violence because I'm angry. I'm fascinated with violence because it's interesting. And so, like, I feel like so many people are violent because they're mad, or so many people are contrarian because they're mad. I'm contrarian on principle. I'm violent because it's interesting, you know? Um, and that's like the strange, very strange aspects of my personality that I just don't know how to explain. And obviously, based on ethics, based on ethics, I try to do the right thing and this kind of stuff. You know, I'm not totally insane, but these are the feelings, these are the thoughts that I have that go through my head, you know? And it's weird being that aloof to most things because obviously because obviously I can be emotional about certain things. And that's pretty clear. But most of the time I feel as if I'm watching myself in third person. Like what I'm watching is a movie and I'm not the person who's doing any of the things that I do. I'm just watching the things that are happening happen from my own, my from my mind or something, you know, where it feels like nothing I do is something that I've done, and so it's really hard for me to feel things. It's hard for me to feel things because I don't feel like the world exists almost. Like the reality that I inhabit just isn't there. And that myself, the person who's doing the things that I'm doing, don't feel real. Um, and obviously, I know that they are real, but it feels like I'm watching it happen, like I'm not doing it, you know? Um, uh, it's weird. Star serial killer confirmed. No, like again, I don't want to go to jail, so I wouldn't kill anybody. And you know, like those people, they have families and stuff, and you know, I would never. That's wrong. You know, like you shouldn't. You know, yeah, that's you shouldn't do that. It's against the law and stuff. And yeah, you it's again yeah. It's a good habit to have. Most quote unquote authorities are charlatans propped up by bureaucracy. Yeah, probably. I mean, but some people are more educated than you are, and they do have a purpose being in a place of authority. But yeah, generally, yeah. Um, I look at gore stuff because I'm so desensitized to violence, and I want to find stuff that actually brings out emotion. I don't. It's weird because the only emotion that's ever brought out of me when I look at gore is just excitement. Like I get this very visceral, like it's almost like an animalistic reaction. I get so excited. But other times when I'm looking at it, I just feel nothing. I just stare at it as it's happening. And but other times there's this very like kill urge that I get, like I want to. But that doesn't happen as much as it used to. Most of the time I just think that's interesting. That's I want to partake in that. That's interesting. Who knows? That's called dissociation outlaw. I see. Um uh what was, or there was something I3330 said I was going to mention. Okay, there it goes. My phone cut out for a little bit. CIA got me there for a moment. Star, I saw an interview with a sociopath, and it literally reminded me of you. Technically, it was a person with antisocial personality disorder. I mean, I probably am a sociopath on some level. Like when I was doing that, like 600 question personality assessment test that my psychologist had me do a couple days ago. I could tell immediately which questions were meant to seem sort of sociopathic. Where like and the thing was is that I gave the sociopathic answer to all of those questions almost, except for like one or two of them. Um and I don't know. Like there was a time when I didn't want to feel this way. There was a time when I didn't want to feel this way, when I wanted to get out of it and find more of like a sense of community. But when I did, when I did try to get those things, or when I did have those things, I realized that I started cycling back into the same behaviors that I always had, like manipulation, being dishonest, these kind of things, where like even with my own friends I do these things, and I used to hate the fact that I do it, but it's just something that I do. Um, and maybe that does make me like a bad person or whatever. But it's just how it is. It's the way my mind processes the world. And I like I don't know, man. I don't know. What was the test called? I did one called SCID5PD. I think that actually was the one that I did. I don't remember the exact name. Star smiled as he inserted his throbbing phallus into his victim's into his victim's gaping stomach wound. Damn. Sociopathy ASPD is very easy to misdiagnose because of pop culture. Um, People on advice every other day thinking they're sociopaths. Isn't advice a normie board? Advice is definitely a normie board. I mean, almost the whole website is a normie board, um but yeah, like I think the test you had done is the same one I did, but I'm not gonna get my results back until April 2nd, so I have to wait. I have to wait like almost 2 whole months or whatever, until then. But by April 2nd, I'll have my results, and I'll find out, what their verdict is on the kind of crazy that I have. They, like I said, they're thinking that I have PTSD, rather than schizophrenia, which I guess is an improvement. But in terms of personality, I seem to have a lot of wacko stuff going on there. Um, uh, but yeah, based. PTSD brothers, yes. Um, but they told me that auditory hallucinations and sometimes visual ones can often accompany people with PTSD, and so yeah, that's a thing. Um, but yeah, I'm all messed up, all messed up, um, mentally, and I feel like there's a lot of really good people who watch my videos and who believe in me, who, want me to be a better person or just appreciate the things that I do on the internet. And like a lot of the time I don't really know what to say to those people because like I look at my own descent into madness and I feel like a lot of people might end up being disappointed um, because of the kind of person I am. And I know a lot of people have stopped watching or unsubbed because, they thought I was a type of person that I wasn't. Um, I just, I just kind of don't care. I only attended therapy for a short while, and the first one I thought I had BPD, but the other one didn't really agree. Not really sure what I have. I feel like BPD is kind of a made-up diagnosis. Like it's one of those diagnoses that therapists give you because they don't really like you. It doesn't really feel real to me because so many of the people, BPD is often confused with PTSD. Yeah, yeah, what I330 said. Star, do you enjoy chaos? I do enjoy chaos. It gives me a sort of energy, like the feeling that everything around me is falling apart. Maybe this is a coping skill that I've developed from having my life fall apart for so long. Um, when I was younger, especially, it was like every new fucking day there was a new thing that was that was terrifying going on. Um, and so maybe I developed this as like a way that I dealt with the trauma of what was going on. But I actually do enjoy the feeling that everything's falling apart, that it's absolute chaos going on. It's like it gives me a type of energy. Let's see here. Psychology is called a soft science for a good reason. Yes, Reddit live stream. I like how he added clap emotes to everything he said. This is a very Reddit moment. Um, but what was I saying? It's hard for me to feel guilt for anything that I do. Like I find myself very often pretending to be guilty. Like I found the exact facial expressions that I have to do. I found the little subtle movements that I have to do that would imply some form of guilt. I start changing the tone of my voice and the way that I sound in order to and mainly what it's in order to do is to make the other person quiet down, because I don't want to deal with them, getting mad at me over whatever it was that I did. But I feel absolutely nothing about anything that I do. If I do something bad, it's just something I did. Like it's as if I'm constantly putting a mask on when I'm around other people because I want to be perceived a certain way, and I obsess over it at times, of being able to put on the mask, and it's really really hard for me to care, um, but at times, in order to maintain relationships with other people, I actually have to. I have to leave out certain things about, yeah, I do want to kill people sometimes. I have to leave out certain things like I can be very manipulative. It's a habit of mine. I have to leave out certain things, and I have to say certain things that make me sound more like an upstanding guy. Like, oh yeah, I'm so worried about you. Your pain is mine. Blah blah blah. And I have to do these things in order to maintain the facade that keeps those people there. Because there's a part of me that wants those people to be there, that likes them as people. And so because of that, I I have to project a person who isn't me to an extent. And that's okay because for my entire life I've lied all the time and I just don't care. The only thing I care about is getting caught. Um I make it a point to be honest, not because I think it's quote unquote the right thing to do. I make it a point to be honest because it's the most comfortable for me. Like in these YouTube videos, most of the time I tell the complete unadulterated truth. And um, the reason I do that, the reason I do that is because for one, it's comfortable for me, and and for number two, because that's the kind of content I like. Because I enjoy content that's so open and honest. Yeah, I'm gonna say really damaging things here. But I wouldn't normally do that with other people. With other people, I would tune up the mask as much as I possibly could and calculate the things that I'm doing. I'm very, very calculated. I think a lot about these things. Um, and back when my memory was better, I could do it way better. When my memory was really good, holy shit. I could play people like a fiddle. I got so good at controlling them. Um, and it's just how it be. Do you find yourself lacking empathy for others? Yes, all the time. That's what he's saying. Yeah. I just don't care. I fundamentally don't care about other people a lot of the time. It's like I have to, I have to make myself do it. I lie about liking my niece and nephew, but can't stand little kids. I think that's pretty normal. Yeah, I think most people don't like little kids very much. Did the mail get here yet? No, it's not 1 o'clock. I get these eToro LTC line coin jumps over $80 for the first time since September 2019. I get these notifications on my phone constantly. Hello, North Royalton. Did it start raining again? I honestly have more empathy for fictional characters than real people. I used to get that more often. Like I used to cry more watching anime because I felt empathy for the characters, and it doesn't come out as much. It still happens sometimes, but when I was younger, I always felt empathy for the fictional characters, but I would look at my real life and I didn't feel empathy for anyone around me, and it was weird. But there was a time when I was a more sensitive person, but even back then I still had the same tendencies that I have now, you know. It was like it was like over time the sensitivity left more and more and was gone, and what stayed around was like stuff other people would consider to be bad. Is it raining? I hear it raining. I'm gonna go look out the window. Oh, it seems to be going a little bit now. Yeah, just a little bit. I wish I could live stream outside. I don't have the ability to live stream outside, um, because this the phone might have a fit now that I unplugged it. Um, but the the what's it called? The internet, it doesn't follow me outside because the internet's not strong enough to be able to reach over here. If the internet could reach outside, I would stream outside. Or if I had a phone that had, internet that I could take with me, I would do it. But that's a hope for another day. It's going to be an amazing content improvement when I can get like mobile internet that I can take places, because I can show you guys around my town and I can show you some of the cool landmarks that are here and stuff. It's going to be great. Um, but Comfy being able to relate, I think I didn't read that earlier, but yeah, no, I appreciate that people. Like that's the other reason too that I try to be as open as I can in these videos. And it's really only like little things that I might tune up a little bit. I don't do it very often. But I try to be as open as I can in these videos because I like being able to see that there are other people who are similar to me in certain ways, and that those people can have an outlet through these videos. Um, 'Cause there's not a lot of insane people out there, you know. Being insane is a minority. And so it's nice having I guess an outlet of some kind for that, you know. Those are always my favorite videos on YouTube. Let's see. What was I gonna do? What was I gonna do? There was something. Is it almost 1 o'clock yet? No, it's not 1 o'clock. What else do you guys want to talk about? I think I'm almost starved. I'm almost starved for topics. I can't think of anything else. Did I show being insane is a minority? Oh boy, Dad Gun with his hot takes yet again. Um, But did I show you guys that I found my old copy of The Triflers by Mumkey Jones? Did I show you guys this? Yeah, this is the original. This is the original printing. I got this when I was like, I think it was 2017 I bought this. Yeah. And I read this whole book in like 2 days. And yeah, it's the school shooter book that Mumkey Jones wrote. I found this in my sister's room of all places, because I thought this book got stolen in Oklahoma. When I moved to Oklahoma, I had a whole bunch of stuff there that I thought was just straight up gone forever. And it turned out that she had it in her room the whole time. I lost my I lost my 3DS there. Being insane is a minority. Insanity is a condition rarely found in individuals, but groups of people are among the norm. Star, I remember your vid about Digibro saving your life, and it sounds like a more positive Star. Okay, so that video, the point of that video wasn't necessarily that he did it. That was kind of a clickbait title. The point of that video, was that making art and thinking more analytically about things was what I needed when I was 14 years old. So when I found his videos, I was like, 14, 13, and I never heard someone talk analytically about art before. And so it sort of inspired me to think more analytically about my own life, which I was just turned off. I was like an NPC. I never thought about anything. But that's not entirely true, but like that was basically where I was at. And so watching his videos, it sort of like gave me an outlet to try and do that, and it sort of inspired me to, to think more analytically and assess problems more head on. Um, and when I had that suicide attempt, I was thinking about the idea of I can make art. There are things that I can make, and that'll help me push through, this period of wanting to end my own life. And I want to make art because, this guy did it cool, and I'm gonna do it like them. You know, that was where I was at. That was almost 4 years ago now that happened. Um, and the video, when I recorded it, I was like 16. When I recorded that video, it was a very optimistic video. Because the point of it is that if you have things that you can use to cope, and if you try to think about the situation you're in and introspect, then you can get out of the situation easier. And I still agree with that point. I don't agree. Well, like, I think you're conflating the tone of the video with what I thought, because like I agree with the things that I said, that if you are introspective and analyze your situation, you can change aspects of it. That's true. The thing that I said about, using art to cope through the place that you're in, that's true. Um, I think it was more so that the tone of the video sounded very like it sounded very melancholic and kind of and bubbly at the same time. It was an emotionally charged video. And so I think because of that, I gave off less of a nihilistic vibe than what I have now. But I would say that at the time I recorded that video, like when it was recorded, I was actually more nihilistic than I am now. And so like it's really a matter of perception. It's how what you're saying is being presented, I think. Um, Star, have you seen Anohana, the flower we saw that day? It's a good one. The main character starts out as a need. I haven't seen Anohana. I've really wanted to. Like, what is a normoid if not a person perpetually trapped in the madness of herd mentality and groupthink? I mean, but that's not insane, though. That's just what humans are designed to do. Like, the people who are called insane are the people who don't do that, you know? Like people are designed to think in groups. That's how people survive. Um, but like, yeah. Hmm. What's I gonna say? I don't know. I feel like a lot of people are out there trying to like help me through videos. Like when I'm making videos, they try to give advice and stuff and they're trying to help. And I appreciate it on the one hand, but a lot of it is just stuff that I've heard already. And so it, you know, um I don't know. It's not insane because it's normal. Yeah, no, that would make the definition of insanity is made by like if you look at most diagnostic criterias, the reason most diagnostic criterias are there is because people can't fit into society. And so the goal of psychology, psychiatry, or whatever, is to make people fit into society. And so that's what most of it is based around. Like if you're really schizophrenic, for example, you're rambling to yourself and on some level you can't really fit into a group because your mind there's like just a disconnection in your mind in comparison to other people. Autistic people are the same way. They don't fit into society the same way. And so they're considered a mental health problem. But like I think that's what a lot of it is based around. Um, I think you can be separate from group mentality and also be very positive. I didn't really say that it was inherently tied to being positive. I mean, yeah, of course you can be very positive and not be part of a group. I'm just saying that like the people who have a group mentality are usually pretty positive about their group. You know what I mean? Um, Insanity slash sanity is a social construction. They also said homosexuality was a mental illness. What a joke. Yeah, I agree. Most diagnoses appeal to the status quo because the institutions making them exist and making them exist to maintain the status quo. Yes, exactly. That's what I mean. Um, let's see. I gotta put my coat on here. I really hope the mail gets here soon. I want it. I know it's probably not going to get here today, but I really wish it did. So bored. Read Mark Fisher. I have read Mark Fisher. He's great. It keeps cutting out. The phone continues cutting out. Again and again, it cuts out. Yeah, Mark Fisher's very good. V slash? V, wait, V and. Why are you putting an and sign? Let's see. Let's see. Vand. Vand? There was a van that went by? I don't get the meme, man. One thing I hate about putting on my gloves is that when I'm using my phone, I can't click things as easily. CIA party van. Oh, I see. Yeah, no, when I can't I can't touch my phone as easily when I'm putting on my gloves, so it gets really annoying to use them. So Star, what are your plans for the future at the moment? I basically have none. I don't know. I've just been waiting. I've just been waiting until the school calls, because I have not gone to school for months, and I know eventually the school is going to say something about the fact that I haven't been going to school, and then that's gonna be pretty bad for me when that happens, um, and I'm probably gonna have to go back, and all the teachers are gonna be mad and everyone there is going to be mad. And then, by the time I'm 18, I'm going to drop out of school and probably become homeless somewhere because I don't think I would be allowed to stay here. So that's going to be fun. Plans for the future. At that point, I'd probably have to get a job. Unless I could like get neat bucks out of a tent or something. But yeah, that's what it looks like for me. Maybe I could become a drug dealer. Um, but I don't want to talk about that too much. Let's see. Plans for the future. I don't know. Maybe I'll become a sex trafficker. That could work, right? Let's see. Yeah, I with my gloves on, I have to take my gloves off because I can't look at the chat. Will you live stream when you hero? I don't really plan on heroing. If I did die, it would be by accident. It wouldn't be because I did it. Let's see here. Mono means one and rail means rail. I don't know what that means. I come back, I see black, I hear sex. Sell weed, dude. I mean, weed is pretty close to being legalized in the US. I to Digibro. Yeah, no, I that would be the best. If I could just sell I was yeah, but no, I would never be able to move enough to make that as like a career. Um but yeah, no, I would have to I mean, actually cooking drugs is not very difficult if you know what you're doing. You just sort of have to have a you have to have a clean place to do it. And you have to have the right chemicals and the right tools. But actually cooking them, if you know what you're doing and don't burn your house down, it's not it's not that hard. You won't be sex trafficking. You'll be being trafficked. Damn. But yeah, I have no fucking idea what I'm going to do. And I've felt this way ever since like ever since I was very young. Um, I felt this way that there's just no future for me because I've always hated doing school. Even as a little kid, I've hated doing school. I'm sure you've heard me talk about this before, and I've always wanted to drop out. I dropped out of high school when I was 15 years old. I was out for like 2 years, and then I was forced to go back in late 2019. And I've just been trying to find ways to avoid school ever since then. Um, and you know, the the only the only way to do that is to become a career criminal or get a job. And I'm probably gonna have to get a job. I really, I really don't want to, but you know, I could save up my money and go to like an obscure country like Kazakhstan or something, and then just sell drugs. That seems to be where my head is at this time. Um, Star in 20 years is going to be Heisenberg. Star in 10 minutes is going to be Heisenberg. Jesus Christ. Same bro, about to be 21 and don't want to do anything but play video, hate everything else. Yeah. Um yeah, no, it sucks. Sell weed in Kazakhstan. I mean, they have weed that literally just grows on the ground there. I don't think that's gonna work. I don't think that's gonna work. I'd have to sell like, well, I'm not gonna go into yeah, yeah. Um, I don't want to reveal my power level just yet. I shouldn't. I really shouldn't reveal my power level actually. Um, let's see. Uh, yeah, I can't put my other glove on. What time is it? Okay, it's 1:05. They tend to get here at 1:30. I guess I'll plug my phone back in. Where is my the other phone charger? I could plug it in the other room. Do you guys want to go to the other room? If I could find my other phone charger, I'd just plug it in the kitchen. Let's see here. Yeah, because this dark room is a bit. I don't like having the rooms be all black every single stream that I do. It feels like it's not it feels like it's not very comfy to always have the room, you know, the room that I'm in be completely black. Uh, Wait, it's Wednesday. Shouldn't you be in school? I've been skipping school every day since December. Every single day. Yes, Sir Appleton, I have no idea where you've been. I've been it seems like you haven't been here in a while. Let's see here. Let me plug this thing in. Okay. When is the goddamn mailman getting here? Jesus Christ. Did that message did that message show? Which message? I've been in school myself, so I don't have the will to do anything else. R.I.P., man. R.I.P. Let's see here. Hate everything else. Yeah, no, some people are just destined. Some people are just destined to be criminals, I think. Because there's nothing else that they want to do in this capitalist society. And and yeah, it is what it is. CIA is going to be watching me after this one. Oh geez. Um but yeah. I don't know. Do you guys think I would have turned out the same way if my parents did a better job? Maybe maybe I would be different if I didn't grow up in so much poverty and I didn't have so much fucked up shit happen to me when I was younger. Like you can't change that now, but like I don't know. I feel like if my parents did a better job, I probably wouldn't be like this. I don't want to blame anyone though. Um, my therapist was able to get me homeschooled for most of my last year of high school, and it was pretty comfy, but college has been hell. R.I.P. Uh, Flitzpipe says no. Maybe slightly, but considering mental illness, only so much can be done. Yeah, like my mom right now, she's like addicted to smack and shit. Like, I don't know what's going on with her. It's like every single message she sends me, she's having a psychotic break. She believes that, like, she's part of Swedish royalty and that, that people are following her around as bodyguards. What the fuck is smack? Smack is heroin. Um, and she's been talking about how she's going to get a government loan to build a gigantic farm for wounded warriors, which given how terrible her credit score is and the fact that because of her co-payment on her health insurance, she has not had any of her social security money for 2 months, except like $100 of it, because she forgot to pay her co-payment. She has no money. No money. And so she's telling me all of this completely delusional shit about how she's going to build a farm and how, oh yeah, I'm part of Swedish royalty. I've got bodyguards following me everywhere. Like, she's been on drugs. She's been on drugs with the person she's living with. And, you know, is what it is. And like when I was young, I feel like she was just a bad influence on me when I was little because what used to happen was my mom would drink a lot and so she would get really really drunk um and she would just beat me randomly like when for example when I was about 9 years old my dad had went to go over to the store or whatever and of course the store was really far away because we lived in the woods and like my mom was just drinking and then like she was like screaming at me over I don't even remember what the argument was about. I might have blacked it out or something over time. But she was just screaming at me and pushed me down to the floor and just started ripping my hair out. Like she just kept ripping my hair out. And she kept hitting me with a shoe until I started bleeding. And like there's a lot of stuff like that my mom did when I was younger, you know? And that my brother did when I was younger, like trying to chase me around with knives and stuff like that. Um, there was one time there was a fire going when it was outside. There was a fire that started spreading all over the yard because my dad likes doing fires. And this was that same day that my mom had pulled my hair out and hit me with the shoe and stuff. And she locked me outside for hours and refused to let me in. I was like banging on the door a whole bunch. She just refused to let me into the house. And so I was out there putting out this fire just by myself, you know? Um, and that wasn't fun. That wasn't fun. Uh, let's see. Damn, I would have PTSD too. I mean, these are memories that I'm okay talking about. Like, there are certain memories that I'm just not okay talking about. I'm not even okay having certain things remind me of those memories, you know? That are just too much. But, like, if this is the stuff that I'm okay talking about, the things I'm not okay with talking about are, um, I was about to say that seems logical that he might have PTSD. Childbearing should require a license. Yeah, I mean, I don't really believe in laws or anything, but like if we're gonna have laws, that should at least be one of them. Um, but yeah, it's one of those things. It is what it is. We need state enforced abortions. I agree. Um, I'm sorry to hear that, Star. Yeah, like I said, it is what it is. But yeah, it probably has something to do with why my personality is the way that it is. Um, I'll be right back. I gotta go check the mailbox. I think it's 1:12, so the guy had to have showed up at some point here. He's not gonna show up at all today. I'll be right back. Let's see here. Okay. Yeah, no, there was nothing there. At Dad going to the recoil, state enforced abortion sounds like the tanky dream. I think it sounds like the fascist dream more like. Because the thing with tankies is that tankies constantly wanted to make the population go up. They were constantly talking about we need to have more kids, the population needs to be raised for the economy and stuff. But fascists wanted to constantly make the population go down. And like in Nazi Germany and other fascist countries, they had a lot of different state-sanctioned ways of even like doing abortions and stuff. Abortions were a very big thing in Nazi Germany. Um, let's see here. Being poor seems pretty gay. I have to ride the bus, and seeing all the poor people is kind of off-putting. Didn't really see people like this close till recently. Wow. Um, yeah, yeah. No, being poor wasn't fun. I mean, I'm still kind of poor now, but when I was younger, and I'd spend like days and days when I was younger just not being able to eat food because there was no food in the house. Um, it would get to the point where I was starving so much that I wouldn't be able to properly walk. Like if I walked, it would hurt to walk because I was so hungry when I was younger, and that wasn't fun. But it's much much better now. Like I'm doing so much better now than I used to, and yeah. Let's see. Yeah, Ceausescu banned abortion. Um, Overpopulation denial is the left-wing equivalent of climate change denial. One-child policy and encouraged abortion now. Yeah, no, overpopulation is a very real thing. 100%. Overpopulation, just because some racist people believe in it doesn't mean it's not real. It is very real. Um, but let's see. Trust me, I wouldn't ride the bus if I wasn't scared of driving. But yeah, no, being poor is not fun. Being poor was not fun. Um, Source, my ass. I don't know what that's about, friend. Star, what are the specs of your desktop? I'm just curious. Let's see. I have no idea what the specs of my computer are. I know they're not good because it's a desktop from like 2010 or something like that, and it's not a gaming PC by any means. I just use it because, you know, um, but yeah, prove OP is real. Listen, man, I don't know what you're on about. But yeah, I could probably install a program and check somehow. But I don't have the energy to do that. I know they're bad. I know whatever specs they are bad. That's really all you need to know. But yeah, no, I would do so well in a society without laws. I often feel like I grew up too wealthy. I feel like my work ethic would be better otherwise. I don't know. I feel like work ethic is tied to other things besides material wealth. It's more like how it's being used and stuff. I mean, I'm still growing up. Yeah. Um, but like if you don't, it really depends. It really depends on what your circumstances are. Like material wealth itself, I don't think necessarily makes lazy people. I grew up fairly wealthy, and my parents tried to drive work ethic into me, but I think it broke me. Yeah, that's the other thing that can happen. You might be able to get a decent cheap GPU for like 50 bucks on eBay. Yeah, I've looked into compatible parts for this computer, and I've thought about changing them out. I just, I tend to spend my money doing other things. But it probably would be a big help if I actually sat down and did it. But at that point, I'd rather just get a whole new computer. You know what I mean? But yeah, it is what it is. Sounds relatable. Yeah. Why am I still wearing this coat? I went outside for like 5 seconds and I put a coat on. Honestly, I just like how this coat feels. I think that's what it is. I think that's what it is. I just like how this coat feels. It feels better than not wearing a coat. But now I'm too hot. Maybe I should turn. If I had my own home, I turned the AC on all day just so it would be cold in the house so I could wear my coat. I I've got a spare GTX 970 because Nvidia sucks on Linux. I would ship it to you, Star, if it had any chance of surviving shipping. I want it to be winter. I do too. I mean, it is winter technically right now, but it's not cold enough. But yeah, if you have me on Discord, I'll just give you the address, or I'll give you an address. But he lives in Chile. Molly Boom lives in Chile. Um, but yeah, if I can, if you have me on Discord, I can give you information. Winter my ass. It was 78 degrees last week. You live in Nevada. It's fucking summer. Oh, I guess it's pretty warm there. Yeah. I'm so glad I'm not in Nevada anymore. So glad. So glad. Um, let's see here. I wish I had this phone so I could have recorded more videos there. I had never, being in Nevada, I had never seen that level of poverty in my entire life. Like, it was next level just how many people, just how many people there were, like, begging for food and stuff. And I mean, it was pretty bad where I grew up, but, like, it's going to be below zero tomorrow with a snowstorm tonight. Nice. That would not be fun to work in, though. Solidarity for you, Monkey Zulu, having to work in those conditions. Um, even for the desert, it was hottest January day on record. Nice, yeah, it's climate and stuff. But still, we have 10 fucking C here Celsius in Germany, which is basically spring. Huh. I mean, yeah, it seems to be. I've been seeing record high temperatures like everywhere lately. Like all the time, I've been seeing record high temperatures. Gee, I wonder why. Let's see here. Like, a couple months ago in Alaska, they had the coldest day they've ever had and the warmest day they've ever had. Oh, let's see here. I think that was Anchorage specifically. Um, Let me try and position my phone here 10°C is 50 degrees Fahrenheit, by the way. Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I don't do Celsius. I don't measure things in Celsius because I'm not gay. Um, let's see here. Maybe if I put my phone inside of the socket of my maybe if I put my phone inside of the socket of my coat. If it goes inside of my coat, then I can hold it together. I wish Australia would lend us Wisconsinites some of their flames. Hashtag save the spiders. Yes. The spiders in Australia are so cool. I love spiders. I want to get them as pets. Yeah, animals are just better than people. Like I was talking earlier about how much I wanted to kill other people. Like I would never kill an animal. Never. Never. Never in my life. Spiders are interesting like food. I don't think they're food, my friend. I've only, wait. I need to turn my head to be able to see the camera correctly. Lol, only someone who knows nothing of Imperial units would say they make no sense. Okay. When did you hop on the spider train? You used to be an arachnophobe. Um, huh. When did I step on the spider train? That's a good question. I don't actually know. I just know that they look cool. I haven't been an arachnophobe in a while, though. Are you vegan? No, I'm not vegan. I'm not that into animals. I've thought about it though. I've thought about becoming a vegan. But no, I haven't been an arachnophobe in a little while. Oh, DualShock, it eeks or cross. On DualShock, it eeks or I don't know what you're on about, mate. Where am I supposed to go? I go back this way. This is Doom. This is Doom 3 I'm playing now. Where am I supposed I don't actually know where this is. Oh yeah, yeah, I'm supposed to go back to the guy who died. Okay. Yeah, I'll look at the chat in a moment here. I feel like it was a while ago that I was an arachnophobe though, like when I was younger. I don't think I have history of recent arachnophobia. My memory really is something else. Wait, so I can go in here. Um, do you say it eeks like the letter X or cross like the shape? I have no idea what you're on about, man. I'd never kill an animal. Proceeds to eat dead animals. You mentioned it to me last year, most recently. I see. Um, I guess I know I was one when I was younger, and sometimes they do scare me, but I haven't been afraid of one in a while. Wait, I just heard a big sound. Um, I haven't been afraid of one in a while because I know my most recent contact with the spy. Oh, Jesus Christ, who is this? Okay, he just showed up out of nowhere. Um, yeah, I wouldn't. I don't have the memory to tell you. Sir Appleton is talking about the button on the PS controller. Oh, okay, I don't know technical terms for these things. What up, Starman? Hey, hello to you. But yeah, no, the last time I experienced a spider was a few days ago, and I thought they were pretty cool. I've seen so many spiders on DPH. Real ones don't scare me anymore. Yeah, no, I've seen spiders on DPH as well. It basically just I've seen spiders without DPH, just hallucinating them, just seeing them as hallucinations. And in that context, they're more scary in that context. But yeah, on DPH, I've seen spiders too. I don't like DPH. It's not fun to use. It's really not recreational to me. Um, you should make a podcast. I don't know what I would podcast about. Make a podcast about how I don't do anything every day. Oh, that'll be fun. What is this word saying? Um, I'll make the new Neat podcast. I'll compete with Zabujard in the Neatosphere. Have you seen the movie Gummo? I think you would like it. I've never seen it before, no. What is it about? Where am I supposed to go? I think I'm angering all of the people who are fans of Doom now. Did I just go back out the way that I came? Yes, I did. Well, I'm assuming because enemies showed up that this is the right way to go. Well, this is I got the little card from in here that I need to open a door. I get lost in video games a lot. Fire Emblem is trash. Why would I want to play that? Fire Emblem is terrible, dude. It's one of the most boring franchises ever. It's overhyped to all hell. Strategy games in general are bad. Um, let's see. I saw Being a Doomer, Doom 3. Okay, yeah, blah, blah, blah. I saw a pornographic film with the most realistic spider costume I've ever seen. This Spider Woman raped a man, then consumed him. It was ace. I have shown it to so many people as a rite of passage. I mean, I don't really watch porn, but I mean, if you want to link it to me, go ahead. Um, Bro, what the fuck are you talking about? Strategy is bad is a brainlet take. Sorry, but true. I just find it boring. I don't care if that makes me less of like a smart individual. I love playing chess, for example, uh, because it's strategic, but it's something strategic that you do with other people. If you're just sitting there playing strategy games by yourself, it's not fun. Like, okay, I've already been through here. So where the hell do I go? But no, strategy games are very boring. I don't know what other way to put it, man. Uh, let's see what's going on. It's a nihilistic experimental movie about an American town after it's destroyed by a tornado. Star, you can do a podcast in different laundromats. In different laundromats. Yes, yes. I actually have a laundromat where I live, and I could review all of the local laundromats. Um, no, it would be fun. I would be down to do that actually. That's where I came from, I think. Or is this where I came from? Do you know the reason I get lost so easily in you go to laundromats? This fucking new fag right here. Um, Sir Appleton, stop watching the stream and go watch my video called Laundromats Are Cool. It's infinitely better than anything I will say here. Okay, this is the wrong way. Is it? No, this is the right way. Where the hell am I supposed to go? I want to see a sexy spider lady. Yes. Remove spaces. I would watch I have never been to one in my life. Yeah, because you're rich. Yes, I know. You don't have to keep rubbing it in. But yeah, watch my video laundromats are cool. You'll understand. You'll understand why. You'll understand what she's on about in the chat there. Wait, I went this way. No, I already went this way. Where the hell am I supposed to go? I don't this is one, as to quote the famous AVGN, this is one of those where the fuck do I go kind of games. So, did you did the links show up? I'm always unsure if they get blocked or not. Oh yeah, links always get blocked. They don't work. You'd have to send it to me on Discord. Um, Links get blocked all the time. That's just the way it works. I feel like YouTube has a thing against Monkey Zulu specifically as well because like Zulu has left comments on my videos multiple times that have immediately just gotten blocked or deleted by YouTube. Um, and I've had other people do this as well, is that a lot of people will tell me that their comment got deleted when it was totally innocuous, you know? Um, and YouTube is just constantly deleting people's comments. It's like their entire infrastructure, despite being a huge company, their entire infrastructure just doesn't work. And it's really annoying. Where the hell do I go? It's, let's see. Um, I would have gotten my comments censored so many times. Not I have gotten my comments censored so many times, not just on your channel. Let's see. Star, what do you think about the idea that in general girls or women have an easier time finding a partner? Only talking about straight people? I would think that's true. Like if you're a girl and you go to a bar, you might not get good sex, but all you really have to do is like show some of your legs or whatever, and you do get sex. Like, it's much easier, and it's not because like women are just inherently a certain way. It's because culturally we've conditioned people to see women a certain way. And so men are put into a position where they have to do more in order to just get sex. Whereas like if you go to a country like Sweden or Norway, women just solicit people for sex all the time because that's just the way they do things. They just solicit you for sex. Whereas in America, the men have to work much more hard in order to make it work, in order to get sex. Um, and so it's different. It's different depending on the culture of where you are. Okay, nice. I felt a little incel for a moment. Hey, don't be validated about not being an incel from me, okay? But but I do think it is about the it's about the culture, not about like whether or not men and women are just essentially different from one another in that way. In other countries, it's less of a problem. The only they're only really true if you're at least average appearance and have social skills, to be honest. I see. If anyone wants to see it, look up Perverted Stories 32 on Pornhub and click the first result. I see. Doom 3, baby. Yes, this is Doom 3. Have I been down there? I think I'm gonna jump down. That's where that guy died, right? Did he die down here? And then there's like the Alpha Labs. Okay. Yes, I need the PDA. Scan. Yes, security access. Woo! I got in. Woo! Yeah, woo! Okay. And then click to enter administration. Alpha Labs number 1. We progressed. Yay! Yay! We did it. Uh, I'm back. Woo! Ever played TF2? I have played TF2. Uh, all of a sudden, my camera cut out for a little bit, so I apologize to anyone who was watching and got excited about me finally progressing to the next level. Um, my camera cut out for a little bit because I am retarded. Oh no, I did it again. Fuck you, Bix. I hate Bixby so much. I wish she would just die. I hate Bixby. Bixby shows up whenever I press a certain button on my phone, and she's the most annoying cunt in the world. I hate Bixby. But yeah, what was I going on about? Yeah, TF2. TF2 is a good game. I've played it a lot whilst listening to podcasts, and it would be how I would get through the day a lot of the time. I just watched that spider porn. That costume looks really good. Yes. Hi, I'm Bixby. Hi, I'm Bixby. I hate her. I hate her so much. But yeah, Sir Appleton, why have you not watched Laundromats Are Cool? It's 11 minutes long. Just do it. I feel like he only watches my streams. RIP. There's a group of people who only watch my streams, and they're the biggest normies. What is Bixby? It's on the phone. It's like, you know what Siri is? It's basically like Siri. Lazy. Oh, I'm too lazy to watch an 11-minute YouTube. What society is it that we've lived in now? What is I'm sure I could make like a Joker-esque statement right now. I'm not gonna do it, but I could. Uh, Positioning damn phone. Okay. You fucking whore. It worked. I did all of a sudden Bixby started showing up again and I was mad at her. I wanted her life to end. Um, Click to open transfer door. Wouldn't the streaming audience be the anti-normies? A normie wouldn't even have a YouTube account to participate in the chat. I think almost everyone is on YouTube now, though. I guess it depends on what your definition of normie is, though. I think if you're on a channel like mine at all, you're not a normie because my channel is like the least normie. Oh shit. Okay, I didn't see that guy there. Hey now. 10 days until I can say I don't know what that's about. Woo! Hey, zombie man, get over here. Yeah, I don't like saying the N-word. Let's see. Where's my other gun? Hey you over here. Yeah. Get some of that, man, guy, people. At least every Android user has a YouTube account because they need a Google account for the Play Store. Yeah, and a lot of people do use Android. That was a bit of a waste. Did I access the area? Okay. Oh, hey fella, how are you? I'm gonna start shilling your channel on normie discords. Yeah, go ahead. I mean, I'm gonna get immediately annoyed with everybody, but... Oh, shit. I was trying to switch to the shotgun. Fucking hell, I'm doing terribly right now. But yeah, I mean, if you want to... I think to even find Star's channel, you have to at least know what a neat is. Yeah, that is true. At least that's where most of my audience comes from. There's a section of people who came from the video 3 a.m. Yeah, the video 3 a.m., which has like over 5,000 views now or something. There's a lot of people who found my channel from that video just because it blew up on Reddit, like completely randomly it blew up on Reddit. And all of a sudden that became like one of the most popular videos on my channel somehow. Okay, they're just saying more racist stuff in the chat. Why haven't you started Japanese learning yet? What do you mean started? Where have you been? What do you mean started? It's... I have a zero tolerance policy for normies now. If you're not in the know... Yeah, I came from 3 a.m. and I didn't know the term neat, though I knew half the concept. Half the shit Star talks about is foreign slang to me. Okay, started learning again. I haven't studied Japanese since January. So I've been a I've been a bad kid. I haven't studied since January. Let's see. But is really that much that I say slang? I don't think it's slang. Maybe it is slang. I don't. Oh, you people, human beings. Yeah, it was a friend of yours linked you 3 a.m., right? It's like a friend of yours you had on a forum, I think. Is that they found it, and then you had found me because of that. It's such a bizarre turn of events. Like my friend Kieran, for example, the Irish guy who sometimes showed up in some of my videos. He, oh shit. I'm almost dead. I'm going in insane mode. Dead. Almost. Come on. Shite. Where am I? What day is it? Okay. But yeah. But that guy, he found me from that video as well. Because it was like the one time he used Reddit. He stopped using Reddit like the day after. And he just joined my Discord because he found that video and he and I became really good friends. It's like, it's bizarre just how many people I've met through that video. When so much of my content is like completely impenetrable to most people, you know what I mean? I saw it on Reddit and initially thought the video was made by an old friend of mine because he was a big Adult Swim fan, highly analytical and vaguely sounds like you. Wow. I didn't even know you went on Reddit. Um, yeah, it's it's weird the kind of events that can, come out where it's like history is always progressing. It's always in motion. You never quite know what tomorrow is going to be like, but you know it's going to be different than today. And sometimes the most bizarre turn of circumstances can lead you to meet very interesting people. And I think that's one of the most inspiring things. Uh, See, you said my optimism was gone, Mully Boom. It's all here. Let's see. Oh, this guy. What's going on here? Okay, that doesn't look too good. Um, I don't normally. Yeah, I don't almost ever go on there. Sometimes I would go there to like shill my own videos, but it was, I believe it was someone else who had posted them there. That's why it was such a surprise to me. Because my videos almost never blow up on Reddit. That was like the one time where it did, you know. Okay, I should just save. I'll just save to make sure I don't die here. Okay. I'll just run in, you know? Just run in. Come on. Let's go. Is there like you can go down here, I think. Caution. So you press this, right? Okay, conduit access. There we go. Are there online recordings of old Toonami broadcasts? Yes, there are. You can find them on archive.org. If you go onto a 4chan archive for long enough, you'll be able to find some on there as well. But yeah, there are some on some 4chan archives. If you go to the cartoon board, uh, you'll just really just Google around. Just Google around and you'll find them. They're on Mega Upload a lot of cases. There were some on Google Drive, but they got deleted off of Google Drive, unfortunately. Um, hey chat, please check out German pop punk band The Screen. I don't like pop punk. The Screenshots. You don't understand the lyrics to get the feel. P.S. Sorry for shilling. They are cool. I'm not a fan of pop punk. It's very. I mean, first of all, it goes against what the entire idea of punk was meant to be in the first place. But even discarding that, um, the music is generally just bad. What do I put into which 4chan archives? Just literally do a Google search and it'll come up. That's how I found it. Um, hey, come on, mate. Oh, there's one of those fat guys there. Morbidly obese. Come on. Uh, let's see here. Come on. I have 7% health left. That's not good. Where do I... Is that a ladder? Or is this a way up? Okay. No, it's not a ladder. Oh, okay, that was close. Where do I go? Where do I go now? Yeah, this is the highest quality Let's Play you'll ever watch. You'll never see a higher quality Let's Play on YouTube than this. All 14 of you. Um, Sorry, the term pop punk was wrong. It's just punk, which is a little softer than the hardcore stuff. Okay, fair enough. I mean, punk was never alive anyway, so it's okay. People say all the time punk was dead. It was never alive. Ever watch Vine Sauce? I love Vine Sauce. He was one of the first like educational channels I saw a long ass time ago. I love Vine Sauce. Did the mailman get here yet? I really don't think the mailman is going to get here, friends. I don't think he's going to get here. I don't think. I don't think. What? You don't think Vine Sauce is educational? No, that's Vsauce. Oh, wait. Okay, I meant Vsauce. I had my brain stopped working there for a moment. Gas leak stopped. Woo! Okay, we did it. Oh, okay. The Toonami Aftermath frustrates me because their lineup is so close to the 1999 lineup, but then they show Dragon Ball Not Z on there, which wasn't there until 2001. Yeah, I can definitely see that breaking the immersion that they have trying to go there. Toonami Aftermath is still fun though. Watch the movie Lords of Chaos. It's about the band Mayhem in the quest to bring Norwegian true black metal, or if you, oh yeah, no, I've seen Lords of Chaos. I watched that back way back when I was getting into metal music, 2016, 2015. Yeah, it was 2015. I watched that movie because I really liked Mayhem a lot. It's one of my favorite bands. Don't watch Lords of Chaos. I don't really remember anything that happened in it. But I watched like every documentary I could find. I watched every documentary about Mayhem and black metal in general that I could find just because I just like black metal a lot. Um, even now as someone who even now as someone who listens to metal less than I used to, I still listen to black metal fairly regularly. Death metal more so. I like death metal a lot. What's your favorite Mayhem album? Das Miras Satanas. I believe that's how you say it. Um, Punk was always bad. Prog rock did nothing wrong. I like punk personally, but I do understand your reason for disliking it. Prog rock is one of my favorite genres of all time. Prog rock is really fucking good. Um, considering the narrative, Mayhem is a really star-core band. Dude, I would love if I lived in Norway or Sweden, I would kill so many people. Like their justice system is so good in the sense that going to prison is basically like a vacation. And so if I was the citizen of one of those countries, I would be like Varg Vikernes, but every single day. It would be amazing. I I like their older stuff with Dead as the singer. Yeah, Dead was a much better singer than the guy they replaced him with. Oh boy, we're in a cutscene. Varg did nothing wrong. Yes, of course. I can't tell which things I say are a joke anymore. Oh, oh shit! No, no! I'm almost dead. Star serves a life sentence. R.I.P. Varg would have gotten a life sentence in the US. If I lived in Norway, I would burn down so many churches. I don't know about that. I mean, burning down a church would be devastating to a community. Like, I don't that's a little far even for me. Let's see. Let's see. Um, like two others in the band was planning to kill him as he claimed to be a sellout. R.I.P. But yeah, it's weird. I have like even though I have a really hard time, even though I have a really hard time feeling empathy for other people, I have like a code of ethics almost of like, I would never kill anybody unless they did something specifically to me or unless they wanted me to do it. Like, if they wanted to end their own life, I think killing them would just be the moral choice to take. It would be the right thing to do. Um, but I would never harm someone unless they did harm specifically to me. Uh, Even though I have the capacity to do so and I could, I don't believe in it, you know? Um, Favorite Burzum album? That's hard. Um, you think burning down churches is too far. You no good. Goddamn liberal. Yeah, I suppose so. I suppose so. Favorite Burzum album? I'm not sure. It's the one with the Ask. No, no, no. Ask is my favorite. Ask with an E. That's my favorite. The movie Falling Down, but instead of D fins, it's Star. Yes. Um, let's see. Varg did nothing wrong. Philver Sim. But yeah, I don't know. My moral code is really weird and doesn't make sense. It doesn't make any sense. As I said previously, listen to absolutely nothing I say. Let's see. I hear there's a guy in this room. Where is he? Oh, okay. I want to get infected with SARS. Everyone's talking about the coronavirus. I want to get infected with SARS. I feel like that would be kind of a cool way to die. Uh, where am I supposed to go? Oh, geez. I didn't see that guy coming. Where did he come from? He threw a big ball at me. Big ball of gas called planet Earth. Here we go. This prophet star will lead his flock with post-irony. Well, someone should clip that. Clip what? What did I say? Did I say something wrong? Okay, I'm going to save now. Yes. Uh, I need to check the mailbox. I need to check the mailbox again. I really don't think anything's coming here, but I just impulsively check. Let's see. If a SARS patient gets a vaccine, would you say their physician shot the SAR? That would be yes. Yes. I wish I shot the SAR. That would have been so cool. TFW not I want to get infected with SARS. Yes. I mean, hey man, they call Rachel Maddow. I listen to a lot of Rachel Maddow, man. They're already calling Vladimir Putin the new Tsar. It's only a matter of time until I get infected with them. Let's see. The next wave of black metal be like racism bad and evil, but Satanism cool and evil. Yes. Killing I consider objectively wrong in all cases. And I think that's a pretty normal stance to have. I just don't care very much. I'm not a very yeah, I don't if it's against like the way that I think of it is that if you're killing someone who's doing harm to other people, who's actively hurting other people with their existence, then it's okay. That's the way I see it. Like if someone is like a billionaire or something and their company is doing all this environmental harm, I really don't care. Okay, is something showing up in the mail? Come on, come on. Let's see. Also, also, just for the record, nothing can be objectively wrong. Nothing can be objectively wrong. Because objectivity and morals do not exist. Morality is relative to the society that it exists in, and so you can't have objective morals. Did someone just show? Oh, my dad just got home. Okay, I think the stream might be cutting short then. But yeah, there's no mail. I've been impulsively checking the mail. There's no mail. So, but yeah, I'm gonna have to cut this stream short because a star on the Murray Franklin show. I'm not that insane. But yeah, I have to. The walls are too thin in here for me to continue streaming, because it always becomes annoying for other people in the house when I continue streaming and the walls are too thin. So I think this is the time to say goodbye. Um, but yeah, yeah, time, people, human beings, okay.